Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever here. I actually wanted to give my thoughts on the PlayStation Showcase that happened today. This is going to be a little bit rough because I just got through watching it. Um, as you guys know, I'm a pro Xbox channel. I really don't do a lot of PlayStation stuff on my channel unless it's in the general sense. But what ended up happening today when I was at work, well, early in the morning, especially, even before I went to work, I get up early. And there was already buzz on Twitter about the showcase. A lot of the Sony guys were really excited. And of course, if you guys have been following social media for the entire week and the build up to this showcase, there's a lot of people out there, especially on the Sony side, and even on the Xbox side, man. Those pony bots that we love. Um, these guys were making some wild predictions, dude. The excitement was at level 10. These dudes was predicting everything under the sun. Um, because and nobody really talks about this because everybody gives Microsoft a lot of crap. But at least on the Xbox side, we've gotten showcases, we've gotten shows. We get a lot of information from Aaron Greenberg. We get a lot of information from Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond. If you guys are on social media like Twitter, you can follow these guys, and you'll be constantly in the loop. That's why when Phil Spencer did the kind of funny games podcast, a lot of that stuff didn't surprise me. A lot of the things that he was saying, because I'm not talking about the apologizing and stuff like that, but basically what Xbox is trying to accomplish. If you guys follow Phil Spencer, and I'm not talking about shows, but just online in general, man, he's laid out his game plan, and Microsoft and Xbox has laid off their roadmap. So none of this stuff should surprise you. But obviously, the PlayStation guys didn't get the memo. Um, because like I said, they were buzzing from last week, the build up to this week, man. I mean, just like any other fandom, dude. If something big's gonna happen, of course you're gonna be excited. But like I said, these guys were just predicting like Sony, because there's a story that came out about Sony freeing up some capital. Shout out to Other Zing because he did a podcast earlier with Unlimited. I actually stopped watching Unlimited's podcast just to watch the showcase, the Sony showcase, and I'll jump back on Unlimited stuff later. And I know 100 did one as well. Shout out to those guys. Um, but I had to watch it again because of all the buzz that was going on. And then as the days continued to go, and the showcase actually kicked off, you can kind of tell from the beginning the excitement was still there. But I was on Twitter, and then really because I couldn't watch it, dude. I'm at work. But I was on Twitter, kind of keeping up with everything, just checking in every once in a while. And dude, I was cracking up because you could literally see just by following the timeline, just the excitement level dropped from like a 10 to like a 7 to like a 4 and to like 1, right? And that's all the Sony guys, because the way Twitter is, I guess I don't really follow these guys, but if you interact with them or if it's just a popular trend, or it's like, especially if it's a big, kind of like YouTube, right? If this person's kind of known, you'll get their stuff in the feed because you follow gaming and on social media. And the gaming media, we all know that Sony dominates, right? Those platforms because of the way they get coverage, and a lot of it is fair coverage and all this kind of stuff, which is ironic because of all this kind of stuff. It kind of blew up in their face today, so hopefully they learn their lesson. But I could literally track the excitement levels for the Sony guys, um, just like minute by minute. Dude, it was funny. And then on the flip side, there's a lot of the Xbox guys that I follow. Um, and of course the pony bots are in there too, and you can see this like switching right from the Sony side to being happy to going to sad, and then on the Xbox side with everybody just being mid and then going up, and then of course as the showcase wrapped up, um, the pony bots were shocked. The pony fan base was just crazy. Like they were mad, they were upset, they were out there saying this was the worst showcase ever. And then the rest of us Xbox guys was just talking trash. And I didn't talk too much trash. I posted like, some things, right? But I did like repost stuff because, like I said, I was busy at work. So, it's like I get my lunch hour and stuff like that. That's when I did the most. Uh, but it was hilarious because you could literally see the changing of the momentum when it came to the showcase, and there was a lot of people that put a lot of bets that this would be Sony's biggest showcase. This is going to bring Sony back in a big way because, like I said, they haven't had a showcase technically in 2 years, right? They haven't been doing E3, they haven't been doing any of this stuff, right? Microsoft's been doing everything, and getting a lot of hate for it, by I might add. So I can see where these people were excited about the showcase, and their expectations were just way too high, and those expectations got destroyed like really quickly. And so, like I said, I was following that on social media and mostly on Twitter. And I decided, you know what? And then Unlimited did a video. I didn't get to catch that. And then I started watching when I was driving home or listening to Unlimited's podcast. And Unlimited was talking about it. And like I said, I've been following all the Xbox guys as well. So before I finished the Unlimited podcast, I was like, dude, I gotta at least watch this because I think I'm gonna talk about it. Because like I said, you guys know I'm a pro Xbox channel. I don't really care anything about PlayStation. The only time I talk about PlayStation again is in a general sense. And a lot of times I deal with PlayStation guys in the negative sense, right? Because a lot of you guys like me are Xbox, pro Xbox, right? Xbox is our system of choice. This is what we play. We like the games. We like the ecosystem. We like what Phil Spencer's doing. And so we kind of just stay in our own, we stay in our own lane, right? But what ends up happening is that a lot of PlayStation guys come over to our side, which they do all the time, man. And a lot of it is to talk trash. Well, they're gonna have to eat some humble pie, because these dudes were making, like I said, these wild predictions. But not only that, dude. I tweeted this to one of the guys. I forget the name of the dude, but my tweet was this. It's just like because everybody was like, "Wow, the Sony guys are losing their minds." I even said this. I said like, they're on suicide watch right now. That's how bad it is. But the reason why they're so, there's so much out of it and stuff like that is because, they got rocked today, man. Their world is all falling apart because they got rocked because all the stuff that they believed, especially for the last 5 years, man, just all fell apart. It was one big lie, dude. And I think a lot of them realized it today, right? Because as I say in my title, PlayStation Showcase 2023 vindicates Xbox. In fact, that's not the only thing, man. All the moves that Xbox has been doing, especially under Phil Spencer, has brought us to this point, right? Now, I told you guys with the AKB deal, one of the reasons why I love that deal, even though I know a lot of other people are tired of it, is just because it was constantly exposing the gaming media, um, the Sony ponies, right, and just regular gamers, man. Because these people talk a lot of trash, and even on the regular gamers, they like to portray themselves as gamers, right? But Game Pass kind of killed all that. And then you add the AKB deal to that, dude. They expose themselves. All these dudes are exposed that they're not real gamers. They don't play games, not on the level that most of us do. Like I grew up in this stuff, man. I told you this is a lifestyle for me, dude. I consume the industry. It's kind of hard now because it's so toxic, right? And it's so anti Xbox, but I still do because I'm a gamer, right, at heart. And there's times, dude, in my life, dude, when I was like, I went through the 30-year change and the 40-year change, and I was like, look, dude, it's time for me to make a switch, to get out of this lifestyle or get out of this hobby, man, because I'm older now, but I could never really do that. And look, I'm not as hardcore as I used to be, but I'm definitely realized that look, this is my lifestyle. I've been in this thing so much, man. It's like a part of me. So I just accepted it, and just moved on from there. And in fact, I'm glad I did because, as I say before in other videos on this channel, this is probably the best time I've had in gaming in a long time, especially on the Xbox side, man. Because we get so many things, dude. Triple A's, double A, we get indies, we get live service, we get multiplayer, we get single story stuff. We get the whole thing, right? And like I said, again, PlayStation Showcase 2023 vindicates Xbox because if you watch that showcase like I did, I watched the entire thing, guys, and I was totally, I loved every minute of that showcase. And the reason why I love that showcase so much is because it vindicates Xbox. As I was watching that showcase, I was like, wow, all the things that Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, the entire crew at Xbox has been doing for the last 5 to 7 years was on display on PlayStation stage, right? Because if you guys deal with the ponies as much as I do, right? You guys know that the ponies, first and foremost, man, they always talk about AAA bangers, and with the exception of Spider-Man, which is not even, I don't believe that's the first party studio, is it? Or there's something. Well, no, it is right. Insomniac makes it, and they own Insomniac now. But anyway, dude, they're always talking about that. And this is why these guys are bitter, man. This is why these guys are salty. Guys like MPG, J Dub, all these dudes are all salty right now because all the trash that they took and just got thrown back right back in their face. Because at its heart, that PlayStation Showcase is doing what Microsoft has been doing all these years, right? The problem with PlayStation and Sony right now is they're just starting a lot. They're just really late to the ballgame because Microsoft's already established themselves and Microsoft has Game Pass, right? Which is probably the reason why Sony's starting to shift um, to shift gears. That and the AKB deal, right? So we know a couple of things, right? It's not about the AAA games anymore. And in fact, a lot of us on the Xbox side have been talking about this. Unlimited brought it up earlier today. I know Hebot's been preaching this for years, man. But if you look at the numbers, man, they don't sell. Their AAA games do not sell. Not on the level to sustain PlayStation. And if you didn't believe that, dude, if you watched the showcase, that was definitely evident, right? There's a lot of games, the service games that they showed. There's a lot of smaller time 1A, 2A games that they showed. There was a lot of indie stuff. I mean, for the most part, it's almost like an Xbox showcase. That's why these PlayStation guys are really pissed off, right? Because Xbox has been doing this variety thing for a while. The difference with Xbox showcases and with their relationship with their developers and their third party and their indies is that they've been doing it for so long that they built a foundation and they built a quality control. Like right now they have what did just come out? Dude, see what happens when you get old, guys. Don't get old. But the latest game that came out on Xbox, um, that just released, Planet of Lana, I believe it is, right? That thing's getting critical reviews, critical praise, and it's on Game Pass right now. Like I was planning on trying to download it and play it tonight, but then I got caught up in this whole Sony showcase thing. But yeah, you can download it and you can play it right now, and it's a high quality game, and that's not the only one. This is the reason why guys like myself, Iraq X, he bought, the usual crew of guys, Sega Man, we get upset because when these guys said there was no games, dude, we play the system and we have the service, right? And this is why these guys exposed themselves, and they were equally exposed, or they were heavily exposed tonight because basically Sony agreed with us. Multiplayer games as service, a lot of indie stuff, all the stuff that Microsoft has done over the last several years, and now Microsoft has been working on this. They've been building this foundation. They've been working on this craft of play your game anywhere on anything, giving you the variety, the diversity, and stuff like that. And always the hit back was like it's trash games, it's garbage games, welfare pass, and all this kind of stuff. Now Sony is actually going to do the same thing, which I find hilarious because I think it was yesterday there was an article where Sony basically talked about them having 14 million. I think it's PlayStation Plus members, and I think we're still at 30 million, probably 35 by now, at least for Game Pass. But when I saw that, I was laughing because that was another indicator that Microsoft is right, and then Microsoft is vindicated. That Game Pass isn't just welfare pass. That Game Pass actually makes money. It actually is a force, and it actually is a disruptor that Phil Spencer's been talking about. Look, Microsoft, for all the people that hate on Microsoft and one thing like that, and I give them credit, you can't fault Microsoft's dynamics. And by that I mean the way they look at numbers, the data that they pull, all that kind of stuff. Look, dude, these guys are on the forefront of AI right now, which is could be good or bad. We're not going to get into that, right? So that's a video for a whole nother time. But Microsoft is cutting edge, and in order to be cutting edge, dude, they can't lie to themselves, man. They got to look at things honestly as possible. Like anybody else, they could make a mistake. They could read the data wrong, but they've been doing this stuff for so long, right? And again, dude, this showcase vindicates that, dude. There was like no triple A titles on the level that a lot of the Sony guys talk about. When you listen to Sony people on social media, the way they talk about how important triple A first party triple A titles are, dude. They should have like about 30 of them. They should have announced 30 of them at the showcase. But as you can see, that was not the focal point. Look, and Spider-Man looked good. Like that was Spider-Man. I mean, what the video they showed of it with the gameplay, that looked cool. If you like Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure you'll be happy, right? But there's not another 7 of those games lined up for the showcase. They didn't show anything like that, And why? Why didn't they show that? Well, the reason why is because these games don't sell on that level, right? They just don't, dude. They never did. Not on that level, dude. They used to the way people look at console sales and stuff like that, dude. That's old school, man. And I know because I come from that old school. You bought Nintendo to play Mario, you bought Genesis to play Sonic, and then you bought PlayStation to play Crash Bandicoot or the titles that they had at that time, right? And PlayStation is kind of an outlier because they never really had that solid foundation as far as mascot and stuff like that. But there's specific reasons why you bought a console back then. That's not the case anymore, dude. Especially in this economy now. And I'm not talking about just the economy being bad. It's just how fluid it is. It doesn't serve any purpose for you to have that old type of mentality. And again, that was vindicated today because of what you saw at the PlayStation showcase, man. There's something that was totally on Sony, like on PlayStation, like, and that's why these dudes are all losing their minds, man. Because everything they've been talking about, all the stuff that they believe, even though they're wrong, and even if you show them the articles that tell them that they're wrong, even if you point the numbers or the sales, or even if you show them all that kind of stuff, they won't believe you. And then if you even ask them honest questions, like I've done sometimes with the PlayStation guys before it became all toxic and everything, right? I basically talked to them. I'm like, dude, but I don't see it, dude. Explain to me how. Like laser focus is explain to me like how this numbers are not matching up. And if you can give me a good reason, then I can understand. But it's not there. It's not there because it doesn't exist. Dude. Like for me personally, man, one of the things I don't like is the whole JRPG thing or the Japanese, the narrative that we need to have Japanese games. And I'm not saying I hate Japanese games, dude. I live in Hawaii, dude. Japan is like a hop, skip, and a jump, right across the water, right? And then our where I live, because of the way Hawaii is, and there's a close relationship between the state of Hawaii and Japan. You know, a lot of the people come here on vacation. A lot of transplants that moved here back in the day, right? In the plantations day in Hawaii, they moved here. They created a family. They created their own culture here. So it's ingrained in the state, like where I live, right? So I'm not hating on JRPGs or anything like that. It's just I come from a time when they dominated. I'll say this again. There's a time, the time that I came for gaming is they set the trends. They dominated. Japan did, right? But that all changed, man. Is when Xbox and all those guys came around. Not Xbox specifically, but Western games took over, right? Because we're the bigger market and we buy more stuff. And then with a lot of people that play shooters, right, especially Call of Duty, Halo, that changed the entire industry. So I'm not saying that Japan doesn't do anything now. In fact, I love a lot of their games. And in fact, I'm kind of a purist when it comes to their games because a lot of people want them to mix in certain things with their games. Now I'm like, no, if I want that, I'll play like a westernized game. I like Japanese games the way it is. Not everybody likes that kind of stuff, but Japan has kind of reinvented themselves. You see that in their animation, even in their music, their popular culture, all of that stuff. They've reinvented it, and now they're pushing it back out. And I like that, dude, because it's very at its core, eccentrically, that's Japanese. And again, if I liked a lot of the games, like if there was this Grand Blue Fantasy, something like that. That game looked pretty cool. I mean, unfortunately, look, I'll just be honest with you guys. Like I told you guys, I'll never buy another PlayStation, so I won't play it. But I think it'll go on PC. Hey, what's up, Lewis Frag? What's up, brother? I hope, dude. I highly recommend. It's bad if I recommend watching that PlayStation the showcase, but you gotta watch it, dude. I enjoyed every single moment of it. Hat tip to Unlimited Productions for breaking it down. Like I said, I still have to finish this podcast, but that kind of spurred me on to watch it. Um, I work while listening. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, brother. But when you get a chance, dude, if you have not watched it, dude, I highly recommend you watch that that show. This is probably the only time you hear me recommend watching anything Sony because you watch that, dude, and you'll see everything that Microsoft's been doing all these years. That Sony's that was the showcase, and that's why these ponies are pissed off. A lot of them don't even realize why they're mad. They just think they're mad because it's the AAA, the whole AAA first party stuff that they wasn't showing. That's part of it, but the real reason why they're mad is because Xbox was right. Phil Spencer's right. That's why it's funny to see Phil. Everybody's like, "Oh, Phil's taking the high ground." He congratulated them, and rightfully so, man. Phil knows how hard it is, dude. Especially after what happened with Redfall and all the hate that we were getting for that, and then Phil especially taking it on the chin, right? But he realizes these shows can, be hard, especially given that's another vindication that the pandemic was real for the gaming industry, right? You can tell that by a lot of the stuff that was shown on the Sony stuff, mostly video, hardly any gameplay, which a lot of these Sony guys hate on Microsoft for, right? Especially the stuff that's unproven, unknown, right? So it was I was enjoying every single minute of it, dude. I actually had a piece of cake. I was cooking dinner, watching the show, and then I bought some cake for my daughter. She graduated. Zink, no, bro, that Sony show was awesome, bro. And the reason why I say it was awesome, Zink, just hear me out, brother. Hear me out. The reason why I say that Sony show was awesome is because it proved that Microsoft was right. Like I said, it vindicated Microsoft, dude. They do this. They were doing indie games. They were doing multiplayer games, right? They're basically pushing their online service. All the stuff that Microsoft has been doing all these years, man. Because what do we hear all the time on Twitter, man, on social media, or even on YouTube, right? These guys always talk about. I'm talking about the PlayStation guys, especially the ponies, right? How Microsoft was gonna die, right? They're not gonna exist. They don't have no AAA bangers. Where's the games from their first party studios and stuff like that? The whole thing with Redfall, right? The Redfall thing was funny to me, right? Because a lot of them was blaming Microsoft because Redfall like got a lot of hate, which again, unwarranted. I played like you, Zink. I played the game. Absolutely love the game, dude. I'm addicted to it. I kind of got the worst thing that happened to me so far was the other night. I was in one area and I got disconnected from the server. That's it. That's the only bad thing that's happened to me while I played Redfall, which sucked because I got a lot of stuff and I probably lost it all because I was in an area I wasn't supposed to be. Sometimes when I play these games, I just want to explore. So I ended up losing that. But you remember, man, everybody was hating on Phil, blaming Microsoft, right? Because Redfall was getting hate. Meanwhile, if a game does well under these guys, right, Bethesda, like with what is that? Loop, Deathloop, right? They won't say that. I had 2 glasses of wine while on a podcast with them. Yeah, dude. Oh, Tuck must have jumped in. I must have dropped out right before he got in. Yeah, that's what made me watch the showcase, is what Unlimited was saying. Because I had to say it for myself, because I figured I'll probably talk about it. So I don't want to be like the ponies, right? I don't want to be one of these guys that talk about something and don't watch it. But I'm glad I did, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And not enjoyed it as I think Sony did a good job, right? I enjoyed it because as an Xbox guy, because I'm telling you, dude, if you're an Xbox guy that's been dealing with all this crap since 2013 and you watch that showcase, it blows you away how that showcase vindicates Xbox, not only their game plan, but their roadmap, the vision that Phil Spencer talked about in 2015, all of that stuff. Everything that Microsoft was doing and is still doing up until this day is you see it in that showcase. Because that's I'm telling you, that's why these Sony guys are losing their mind because it's not what they expect from a Sony showcase, which is sad because this is the other thing, dude. This is the future of gaming, right? Microsoft is just not saying this stuff about any place, anytime, anywhere. They put their stuff on PC, right? They try and help indie developers. They built ID at Xbox, which is awesome. They built out these relationships with guys like Focus Entertainment, with Humble Games, which is one of my favorite underrated developers. Man, I think they need way more credit. In fact, if after AKB Microsoft picks up Humble Games, I'll be absolutely ecstatic because I actually love their games. In fact, they're having a sale right now for a lot of you guys who want to take that plunge. I bought most of their games. There's a couple games I forgot they made, and that's the only reason I'm going to pick them up right now because I just forgot. I didn't know Humble Games made it, to be honest with you. And so I'll pick those games up because I like them as well. I'm 88 hours into Redfall playing a single player. Wow, dude. Yeah, you blown me away. I'm not even close. I mean, what I'm gonna do, what I'm planning to do right now is I'm exploring and stuff. I love doing that kind of stuff. But I'm just gonna finish the game with Layla, trying to get her as hyped up as possible. Then I'm gonna stop and then play some other games, and then come back and then probably play with Jacob. And that's the kind of cool thing about Redfall, man, which you talk about all the time, bro. You always bring this up. You talk about this on the podcast, like how when you look at that's why it's awesome that you started talking about that because I didn't really pay attention to it. But like if you look at the engagement for a lot of these titles, Redfall is going to be one of those titles because you can always come back in and play it, dude. Especially I hope what Microsoft does, and I think Phil will do this because he said he was supportive. I don't know if Arcane will because Arcane took a lot of. I felt bad for them, dude. They took a lot of hate, man. And of course, I'm pretty sure they're not used to that on that level, but they're with Microsoft now, so they get that extra, pony hate that a lot of these developers are experiencing right now, and I know they've never really experienced that before. Um, but hopefully that doesn't discourage them. It's going to be like if they improve it and they add the stuff that we know they can, and a lot of the stuff that they want to implement because they didn't. I guarantee you right now, man, that Redfall that's going to be one of our biggest franchises because it's made to be a franchise, dude. And I'm not just talking about games; I'm talking about merchandising as well. The characters are interesting, so if they can just add more to that, flesh out those stories more, dude, they could do anime. They could do a lot of stuff with this franchise. But hopefully, Arcane doesn't have such a sour taste in their mouth to give up on it. And like I said, Phil said that he would support these guys, so that's a good thing. The Sony fanatics are having a meltdown. That show was a letdown. Yeah, like I said, Louis, I tell you why it's a letdown. It's not what they wanted. Hey, sorry guys, I'm supposed to post this, dude. My bad. I get caught up in this stuff. And like I'm not technically savvy. Not like Unlimited, man. Unlimited got all the bells and whistles, dude. If you guys don't check out his podcast, dude, go check it out. It's awesome, dude. Like I said, I kind of stopped because I had to watch that thing because I wanted to talk about it as well. Yeah, Sony fanatics. I don't blame them, dude, because that was not what they were expecting, right? Because let's be honest with you, man. One of the reasons why they want those AAA bangers is so they can just come back on Twitter and talk trash to Xbox guys, right? Which the sad thing about that is most like at least the true Xbox guys, the guys who bleed green, because the average gamer doesn't even care about all this kind of stuff. It's like people like us, but the guys that bleed green, we're used to this already. Like people were saying like oh yeah, the Xbox is going to be even worse. You think this is bad? Xbox is going to be even worse. You're like, dude, how many times have I heard that? Well, how many times have I heard that for the last 10 years? We're supposed to be dead already. Microsoft was supposed to sell off Xbox. They're supposed to be third party, which I thought that was the funniest one because these guys don't even play our first party games, and they want Microsoft to go to take Xbox titles third party. I'm like, dude, you guys don't even play our games, right? And I'm a Sega guy, so we learned that lesson. Sega should not have listened. Uh, should not have listened to all those people, man. They should have, been their own heart, stay with their hardware. Hopefully, Microsoft will pick them up. But yeah, dude, just to go back, like you're saying, it does not surprise me, man. And again, I watched that showcase. I can see absolutely why they did so, man. The amount of multiplayer stuff they showed, the amount of games of service, man. This the other vindication of this is that because Jim Ryan himself said like they won't make it without AKB. And for those of you guys out there who say guys like myself are wearing tinfoil hats, we're conspiracy theorists, we're just trying to we're what is that? We're Xbots, right? We're just trying to make Microsoft put a put a good face on that stuff and all that all that trash they've been talking for the last several year or two, listening to these clowns, man. Tonight was vindication that the Call of Duty COD is going to hurt them, right? And I can say that 100% because if you watch that showcase again and you see the games that they had on there, right, that is 100% factual. What Jim Ryan said, dude, they're going to be hurting without COD, so they got to find games that are going to appeal to a wide variety audience that they have right now. They have a very big casual audience, but that's because people switched over because of the games like COD, and people are playing Fortnite and stuff like that. So with COD disappearing, right, and then the dangers of putting COD in Game Pass and everybody going over to Game Pass, right, and realizing how good that is, right, with not just Game Pass, but with the games as well. I mean, not just with Call of Duty, but with the games that are already in Game Pass right now that we know about, dude. We play these games, we know about it. There are a lot of Sony fanatics, pony bots, and some Xbox guys hyping that Sony show to the moon, and it fell flat. Yep, 100%, bro. Like I said, the only reason I'm saying that was a great show as an Xbox guy is because you got to see this all played out in real time. Exactly what you said, bro. It was played out in real time, dude. Like I said, I had a piece of chocolate cake. A chocolate cake. I sat there, took my time eating it. It was delicious, and I was like, dude, this is worthy. This is worthy of celebration right now. But yeah, they did hype it up, dude. And this is always what happens. I said this early on Twitter, man. Every time Sony and the ponies, every time the ponies take some kind of stand on something, right? Like with the AKB deal, like what they did with the CMA block that they said it was over, deal's dead, all this kind of stuff. Guys like you, guys like me, Hebot, E-Rock, Unlimited, Sega Man, Talk, all of us, dude. We sat there, goes, nah, dude, it's not dead. Right? And then of course Unlimited was saying, a lot of people got this stuff wrong. They think like the CMA is like the president of the United States just passing vetoing power and stuff like that, which is 100% correct. And we just sat there and waited it out, dude. UK, as in Microsoft was pretty confident. Now, if you follow Microsoft on the business end, they have good relationships with a lot of different people. And I think people tend to forget that Microsoft is a $1 trillion company, right? So when that UK thing went out, they were positive about it, right? Of course, these insiders who were wrong about the CMA because they're clowns, they were playing it passive. And then you had the regulars like what's his name that was on Dustin's show. I can't remember his name right now. But there's analysts out there that were saying it's going to go through. It's going to go through. We were all saying that, and then the UK thing happens, and bam, ponies are on suicide watch. They always do that crap, bro. There's a secret boss map one I discovered. Oh, on really on Redfall. There's a secret boss map. On Redfall box? Can oh yeah, Redfall. Okay, gotcha. I see the comment. Dude, man, don't be shy, man. Let us know. Because I'm still playing that. I want to try and wrap it up with Layla. I'm just trying to level her up a little bit more. But of course when you get to that third tier, right, it takes 2 experience points to unlock stuff. So I'm just trying to get her up there because hopefully they'll go multiplayer with this soon. And I'm not talking about co-op, man, because the co-op thing can be cool, man, but a lot of like where I live, dude, a lot of my friends are usually sleeping when I play. Or it's later. Their day is ending when my day is starting when I play games. And I play a lot of my games at night, so it's morning time. Either they're sleeping, most of them are sleeping by that time. So I have to find other people to play with. So if you have a lobby where you can just jump in, like Left 4 Dead did back in the day, you just jump in and you can just jump in with people. I think maybe the only thing about that is there's a little bit more nuance and a little bit more tactical stuff that you can do with Redfall. But they should do that. I think a lot more people would play it because a lot of people, even though they might have problems with the game, a lot of people do like the multiplayer or the co-op aspect of it. But sometimes you just don't have that crew. Agreed. Losing Call of Duty funding has already hurt. Yeah, and when Jim Ryan said that, a lot of people was like, "Oh, he's just saying it for the CMA." Nope. Now we know Zinc. Like you said, you watch that. I'll give bro, a shout out to you, bro, because you watch a lot of stuff that I can't watch. I can't watch a lot of these podcasts anymore, dude. This is why I was complaining to Unlimited because Unlimited was dry, man. He didn't have like videos, man. He didn't have any videos, and I know he was busy. I'm not complaining like I'm upset with him, but I did tell him, dude. I was like, dude, where's my Unlimited Truth, brother? Right? And I know but we all busy, man. I was busy, right? So I'm glad he put out two, and then he did the one today, which I'm gonna finish later on. Yeah, but yeah, all of that stuff is coming true, man. And again, what did the CEO say? Right? It's not the CEO, the president, the Japanese dude, right? When he said about Sony, dude, that these people don't buy the games, which is also vindication right there. Like that's another thing, right? Microsoft is on the right game plan, right? Because what does Microsoft get hated on for all the time, man? That they don't Microsoft doesn't make enough triple A games, and I've been saying this too, because again, following the numbers, right? I'm like, dude, why would you make it if it doesn't sell on that level, right? Like we have triple A first party studio games, right? It might not be the stuff that Sony guys like to play, but obviously Sony doesn't even support that. But we're watching this showcase. That's the irony of it, right? Microsoft was absolutely correct, and I'm glad they stuck by their guns because I'm pretty sure they see the numbers, dude. They can either make a grounded, like you talk about, and then have 30 million players playing that game, or 20, 30, however, or Forza Horizon, right? People engaged, right, in Game Pass in the ecosystem, people spending the money, like for service games are big now, right? Not all of them are successful, as everybody's saying, because that's what the ponies are saying. Well, they're not successful. But look how many of them closed down. Yeah, dude, because a lot of people are coming in because that's where the money's at. And when you get a big influx of people, man, I know you know this thing. I'm preaching to the choir, man, with you. But when you have an influx of people trying to get a piece of that pie, dude, sometimes that pie gets small, and the piece is small, right? So some companies are not going to make it, dude. But that's just basic competition. But 100% with you, bro. That's the great thing about this showcase, man. They show that they are hurting. They're hurting so much so that they're diversifying. As the financial people say, they're diversifying their portfolio. that was that cracked me up, dude. That they're doing that. MBG's rant was hilarious, dude. I didn't get to see it for Lewis. I didn't get to see it, dude. I gotta watch it. I saw that he dressed up as was it Big Boss? He dressed up as Metal Gear Solid, and then again, this is why they're taking L's, bro, because they expected like exclusive gameplay, like an exclusive game or gameplay of a new Metal Gear Solid specifically for PS5. It's my understanding that with that $8 billion that Sony cleared, right, that they're gonna go buy Take Two, Ubisoft, and what's that other game? Take Two, Ubisoft, and what's the other people? Square Enix. People were saying that all week. And then other Zing busted him on that because Zing, what did you say earlier? With that 8 billion, right? It was to clear assets or something like that. Zing broke it down in Unlimited's video. I caught that part, bro. Where you basically talked about that. Zing, you were talking about like that was for them to cover costs or something like that. It wasn't really for playing for money. Are you talking about that second map after you beat Hollow Man? Oh, I don't know, Zink. I think you sounded like there's another one. Oh wait, second map after you beat Hollow. Yeah, let us know, Box. What are you talking about, bro? That roadmap is evidence that Xbox is going to own them this gen. Yeah, yeah. In fact, that's the again bringing up Unlimited because like he said it. Unlimited said this in the podcast too, where he's talking about somebody questioned him and Zink about PlayStation still going to win the generation, and then Zink or Unlimited broke it down like how unless you could just count in console sales because everything else Xbox is dominated. Everything else, and then Xbox has more money, dude. And then they're owned by not only does Xbox have more money, but then they're owned by Microsoft. That's the kicker, dude. And Microsoft cares now. Dude, if you guys get a chance, I was actually watching the Microsoft. Dang it, dude, what is wrong with me today, man? Microsoft has like a conference going on right now. Microsoft Build, and the reason I was watching it because I was looking into the AI and stuff like that because I might have to get into like cybersecurity. Might have to change up and go into cybersecurity. But they're basically talking about AI and stuff like that. Just really interesting stuff that Microsoft is doing. And when you see Satya Nadella up on the stage, man, that dude is. There is no. I have no concerns right now about Xbox and the future of Xbox under Phil Spencer, especially. This is. I mean, I know people have been talking about the video that he did, which was awesome. But I mean, for somebody like me, nope. I, Microsoft cares about Xbox now, and that was big trouble. When Microsoft actually cared, that's when Sony should. That's when it changed. If I'm being perfectly honest. Oh, was it Solid Snake? Oh, okay. I thought it was Big Boss because he looked kind of yeah. Dude, I give him 10 points for cosplay, bro. That was pretty smooth. He got his hair all dolled up and everything like that. He got the road down. He got it down. He could go to a Comic Con and people would take pictures with him. I love the fact that Xbox tweeted the games coming to Xbox. Oh yeah, dude, I saw that too. That was like such a boss move. That was epic, lol. Yeah, because it's funny, man. Some people are calling out Sony on that because again, we all know this, right? When Microsoft did things, and then there was like exclusive, and then Microsoft because they was getting flack, they have to put limited, or they have to put other stuff in there, wording, because they were saying that they're being disingenuous and they're trying to mislead people. When Sony does it all the time, and Sony did it tonight, dude. They didn't add anything like that, limited release or all that kind of stuff, right? They just put their logo up on there. So then, yeah, and that was nice to see that Microsoft was like, okay, especially after everything that's gone with AKB and then Sony showed their ass, right? It's kind of cool to see Microsoft actually punch back like that. And they're being tactful, dude. They're not hating. Just like a lot of people was hating on Brad Smith, right, when he made that commentary to the UK government and the CMA, right? He went on the news, right? Veiled threat that he did. But you need to do that every once in a while to let these people know, right? And that was awesome because I didn't know. Because like when I saw Alan Wake 2, I thought to myself, you know what, dude? Um, I talked about earlier, man. They were talking about it being on there on social media, and I was like, dude, there's no way that it can not be on Xbox. And then, of course, later on, right, that picture came out, and then people were talking about it as well. So, map one discovered fire flare gun when you see a flock of birds. Map one, map one, fire flare gun when you see a flock of birds, and mini boss will be summoned. I'm still stuck on map one because game breaking bug. Oh, sorry about that box. Yeah, that happened with me on High on Life. I got stuck at this one part. I couldn't progress. Hey guys, try hold on real quickly, guys. I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I hate that air, but at the same time, I don't want to burn down my house. The fire on. I have to go check it. Yeah, dude. But that's what happened to me with High on Life, and I didn't go back after that. I need to. Even that one game. What's it, Somerville? That developer was complaining about that it didn't do well on Xbox. One of the reasons I didn't buy the game because that was day one for me, but I started playing it in Game Pass, is I got to this one part in the trailer park where I got stuck. And I even actually went online there. I normally don't do this. I went online to watch a video to see what I was missing because I couldn't get to this part. I was trying to get this light to shine on the cloud thing, whatever, and then because I figured you have to shine this away, then I can climb up and go over. Nothing was happening. And then when I went online and I looked it up, everybody was doing that and was able to progress, and I couldn't. So I did not buy Somerville. I'm kind of glad I played it first. Maybe I'll restart it and stuff like that and try again. Um, but in those cases, I wait for them to be a fix, and then I go back and play them. And there's nothing wrong with High on Life. It's an awesome game. I just got stuck at that one part, so I'm gonna have to restart and go all the way back to the beginning. Is my only other option. So I'll kind of wait till they have the bugs fixed out on that one. Yeah, but I hate that, bro. You're the first person that told me that, and I've never experienced it. Like I said, the worst thing I've experienced with Redfall is the I got disconnected and I lost all my progress in the area that I was. I'm on map two, like Zinc is. Liquidating assets is what Sony's doing right now. Okay, yeah, that's what you said, Zinc. Sorry, I didn't want to misrepresent what you said. Yeah, Zinc said that in Unlimited's podcast. They're liquidating assets, dude. That's another bad sign. Right, look, the reality is catching up with Sony, man. I mean, it is. And it hasn't caught up with the ponies, man. I mean, and I say ponies because I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. It's the guys like MBG and all these psycho Dreamcast guy and all these guys, right? That'll die for Sony. Dude, man, when the CMA blocked that stuff as a gamer, that should have worried you, man. Because as a gamer, you get so much advantages from that deal. When they blocked the dudes, these Sony ponies, dude, they were a lock file. Dude, there's one dude that named himself CMA whatever. Like they think, I'm like, okay, well, we know when the government gets out of control where these dudes will be. These guys are horrible, bro. They're not gamers. Box, are you playing on PC or console? Oh, yeah. Box, if you want to answer. Zink's asking if you play on PC or console. Yeah, I'll go back. I'll see. You know what? When I go play at Jacob, I'll do that. 'Cause I want to finish it up as Layla. And then, well, I don't know. I might play as, what is it, Mohinder? The other dude? That guy? He looks pretty cool, but after playing the game the first time, I don't know. Jacob seems pretty cool, so I want to do a lot more sneaking around. But I'll try that, bro. Oh, he's playing on the Series X. Yeah. I've been playing on my Series X when I hit the Somerville bug and the high on life bug. Those fact agreed that Xbox 3 was masterful. Yeah, it was. They were right. They were on point. It's like, and they've been doing that, dude. Like Aaron Greenberg, them don't get enough credit. And again, I know a lot of people wish they would advertise more, but I'll be honest with you. Um, hold on one second, guys. Uh, it's the chicken, the soy chicken, and then I made rice. Try it, yeah. I don't know if I put enough sugar, but oh, I should have muted it. Sorry, guys. Talk to myself. But yeah. So they don't get enough credit, dude. And I'm sorry, dude. There's people like you should advertise more commercials, dude. I don't know. No, dude. Because look, I'm on YouTube, dude, and we skip most of the commercials. I have to force myself to watch the Xbox commercials that are on there, dude, just because I'm an Xbox guy. I feel guilty if I skip them. So I think they're fine. Like again, I would actually, and some of you guys might disagree, and that's fine with my thinking, but just basically looking at what Microsoft is doing and the way that they've approached Xbox and their business model. I can't hate on them, man, because it's been successful thus far. There's only so much stuff that you can put out, and as Phil said in that kind of funny games interview, he realizes that, and he said it, and he was 100%. No matter what they do, dude, that's not going to change people's opinions as far as the games and stuff like that, right? What you want to reach is you want to reach the people that don't have a tainted opinion of you, and that's what they're trying to do. That's what Xbox trying to do, and that's what Sony's trying to do now. Again, I'm gonna keep on harping on that because I was just totally amazed by that showcase and how non-Sony it was, right? And that like I said, I enjoyed it. You'll get an achievement for that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely try it out, dude. I'll definitely try it out because like I said, I'm gonna Redfall is gonna be one of those games that I go back to, like how I do with Killing Floor 2. I love that game. Um, uh, what's the other game that came out? Not Left 4 Dead. It's the guys that kind of worked on Left 4 Dead that did it. But there's games that I play on live that I go back to. So Redfall is definitely one of those games. Again, I hope that they do put a multiplayer component on there because then I think it'd be more enjoyable. They could touch it up a little bit, finish some of the stuff, upgrade some things, and then start already working on the second part of that because I want this thing to be a franchise. At box, hate to hear that. I haven't had an issue, and I'm 88 hours in Redfall single player. Yeah, that when that happens, box. Yeah, I do. I feel your pain, man, because that's happened to me twice. Um, which again, dude, is it's I'm gonna fanboy out here a little bit, man. That's the power of Game Pass, right? You can actually take the time to try this stuff out. And I know a lot of, especially on the pony side, man, they'll be trying to warp that stuff. Look, dude, I grew up in a time when we had demo discs. You subscribe to a magazine and demo discs would come with it. And we used to hunt for those things, man. In fact, if you like, Sega Man I don't know if Sega Man did a video on, I think he did. I think it was on his Xbox magazine collection, but he showed the demo discs. He still has them, dude. That dude's hardcore. Sega Man's got all the demo discs. That showcase is one of the showcases of all time. Yeah, he's look, I'm being kind of disingenuous because if somebody might say like, oh look, Sega Forever the showcase, I'm kind of being disingenuous because I liked it because it like I said, it vindicated Xbox, what Xbox has been doing all these years. If you watch that showcase, that's basically what Sony's saying. Sony's basically saying, Uncle, right? They're like, okay, you're right, we were wrong. You're stealing COD. That was our game plan. You took away our only game plan, right? And now we got to be like you guys. Right? Because a lot of people forget it's just not Sony, Xbox, or Nintendo. It's an industry as well. And an industry tends to move in trends. And that's everything, man. Grocery, retail, phone, right? There's differentiation and stuff like that, and you try to set yourself apart, right, to appeal to consumers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, dude, this is why there's so many things that are similar. Like comic books is a perfect example, dude. Like a lot of these people who are not comic book fans watching all these comic book movies, they're like, wow, there's a Namor and Submariner, aren't they the same? Or Submariner and Aquaman aren't the same? Pretty much, because if you read the old comic books, right, a lot of them DC stuff they bounce stuff off of each other, right, and copied each other basically. And sometimes some of the artists and writers would switch sides, right? That's why you watch that's why you see the New Gods on DC, and then you watch. Well, this is a bad example, but Eternals, right? I'm talking. If you look at the classic Eternals in the comic books, right, there's a lot of similarities, both of them. It's because they were done by Jack the King Kirby. So, yeah, but that showcase. That's why I'm being a little facetious, but that's why I loved it. Xbox Online. It's 1:58 a.m. here. I have to go to work soon, so I'll have to listen. Oh yeah, dude, don't worry. I'm not going to be on here long. I'll probably do an hour. I just wanted to touch. I just had to get that stuff off my chest, dude. And hopefully other Xbotians will watch it because I think they will enjoy it as much as I did. From the perspective of how this makes Xbox, it just basically Xbox. Sony just basically said tonight that Xbox is right, Phil Spencer is right, and Microsoft is right. Yeah, dude, no worries, man. In fact, I'm gonna catch up with you guys' podcast as well, man. I want to listen to that. So yeah, thanks for stopping in, Zing, dude. Lisa, what's up? Hey, yep. Zing, yo. Did you notice that GTA 6 was not at the showcase? I wonder if Xbox. Dude, I'm glad you brought that up, man. That crossed my mind. That crossed my mind, dude, because of all the stuff that these ponies been. Dude, these guys been talking so much trash online about they're gonna buy Take Two, like Sony's gonna get Ubisoft. Now the Square Enix thing, that to me could be a possibility. I mean, Square Enix works so closely with them on a lot of things, and you see some of the comments that Square Enix has made. Whether that's a shot at Microsoft or not, I don't know. Probably, right? But this also justifies or vindicates Bethesda, right? Because we all know that those of us who play Bethesda games and know that they have a close relationship with Microsoft, and they've had one with years. Todd Howard has talked about it, and then of course the relationship between Todd Howard and Phil Spencer is close. So if Square Enix went with Sony, yeah, fine. I don't, they do Sony's. They're pretty much a first party studio for Sony anyway. Sure, and is that cannon fodder for all the PlayStation guys? Yeah, sure. On Twitter, do I care? No, right? Because I don't own a PlayStation. I'm never going to buy a PlayStation. Even though I saw some of the games look cool that they showed, right? But I'm already in the Xbox ecosystem, man. I left PlayStation 2013 when all the crap went down against Xbox that it did because that was the system of choice that I went with, and then a lot of the stuff that I found out within that year it was just people hating on Xbox. Like I experienced that 100%, and that affected me because I didn't have a follow up to the original Titanfall. I'm not talking about Titanfall 2. I'm talking about Titanfall that came out that Microsoft helped them put up on their console, and we should have got like a fully realized Titanfall. We should have got DLC and stuff like that that a lot of people were asking for. That they actually had a community manager with for the people that was doing Titanfall. They actually had a community manager that would talk to you, and they were taking notes. And then all of a sudden, they just left us behind, right? And then and this is why I fight so bad for Redfall, right? Because Rise Son of Rome, right? Sunset Overdrive. Insomniac now is with Sony, right? What was it? Lobo Cycle, which he always talks about. That game is awesome. There was a lot of games that came out, dude, that we should have got sequels for. Like the things we should be complaining about Sunset Overdrive 2 is like, man, Sunset Overdrive 4 is just like Sunset Overdrive 3. Like that's the kind of conversations we should be having. But that never happened because of all the hate. Gaming media, the Sony side, right? And then all of these bandwagon jumpers. Like I like to we call them pony bots now, right? All of that stuff, man. They basically killed the whole thing with the Xbox One. Which ironically, and I was gonna do the podcast on this, but we'll do I'll do a little trailer preview for you guys. My next podcast is gonna be talking about that. Kind of like vindication of the Xbox. But as you guys have seen, man, Paul Tassi basically released an article. I put it on Twitter to share with everybody. And it's basically him saying that maybe Xbox was ahead of his time. He doesn't give Microsoft complete credit for the Xbox One, but he has to talk about it right now, and he has to do it in hindsight because you see Sony and Nintendo doing the same thing. Nintendo has like one of the biggest movies well, at least in the U.S. I think it's worldwide, man, making billions of dollars or millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know if it hit $1 billion yet, but the Mario Brother movie, right? And then you see what happened with The Last of Us on HBO, right? And this is the stuff that Microsoft was going to do with the Xbox One. This is why, and I can say that because that's why I bought into the Xbox One, because this is what I do, dude. Like after I'm done with this show, there's a K drama I'm watching on Netflix called what's it called, Black Knight. It's with the actor that I like, this guy Wu Bin, right? That he hasn't done a movie in a while. I haven't seen any of his stuff lately, but he was on there. I got the notification on Netflix. I started watching it last week, and I've been pacing myself, man, because I just don't want to burn through this. I want to enjoy it. So when I'm done talking to you guys here, if I'll probably go download Planet of Lana, and while I'm waiting for that to download, then I'll watch an episode of Black Knight on Netflix, right? And then that's the way I am, dude. I'm into pop culture. That's the way I consume my media, and the Xbox One was going to do that, and because of all the hate it got, it destroyed it, right? Even though other Sony then was doing stuff back in the day like that. Sony is an entertainment at its core. It was electronics and entertainment, not video games, right? So what they're doing now is they're using the video game, they're using the PlayStation to try and save the other aspects of their businesses, because they're getting destroyed, man. I don't care what anybody says. There's people trying to bring back the quality of the Sony TVs and stuff like that, and they might be good, but it's too late, dude. South Korea is taking over. If it isn't LG or Samsung, right? Which is ironic to me, man, because LG used to be called Lucky Gold Star, so basically they were like the Yugo of televisions back in the day, and they just rebranded themselves, and of course brought quality stuff, right? They changed that all around, and then when you're not worried about Samsung, you got China knocking on the door with TLC, which is what I have, right? Their TLCs are unbelievable, and then you got Sony with their same apparatic type of approach to electronics, dude. They have these high quality TVs at super ridiculous prices. Like, that's not gonna cut it, man. So you can see what they're doing now. They're trying to draw that kind of stuff. They put PlayStation as a service, right? I believe they did that right on their new TVs. You have the PlayStation Plus on the TVs, basically copying Microsoft again. I don't give them too much flack about that because that is an industry thing, like I talked about earlier. These things move in cycles. If that happens, the extra meltdown will be awesome, dude. Man, these guys are already on death watch. I mean, this showcase didn't help, man. But that AKB deal, dude. Once that thing goes through, dude, I mean, that's bad. If they announce, dude, if there's anything that gets announced close to that at the, dude, I'm Issa, dude, that's crazy that you brought that up, dude. If this happens next month, right, that they get it on Game Pass, just not even the rights, so just getting it on Game Pass, dude, these people will melt down. That, dude, you saw how many people was playing it when they put the other one on Game Pass. I'm not a big GTA fan. I used to be of the old version, the top down. I played Vice City was my favorite one, and I'm not gonna lie, I only played it because I like the music. It was a cool game, but it was like I just spent most of my time driving around listening to the radio. I actually bought the double disc. No, I think they had like a 4 disc set. They had like a 4 or 6 disc set. Like every single radio station had all the music on every disc. That was kind of cool. That's back when discs were a thing back in the day. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be awesome. Because these dudes, man, they need to get slam dunked, dude. They just these ponies, man. Sony just needs to go away. If I'm being honest. Karma at its finest, the AKB deal exposed Sony big time. Yeah, bro. That's why it's like these pony bots are like, oh, I'm getting tired of this stuff. I don't want to hear about it. You know, I hope it doesn't pass. Or yeah, I hope it gets blocked because then it'll be over. Like, and these are like the pony bots, like the supposedly Xbox guys on our side that we call pony bots now. And I'm like, dude, why would you want this to end, dude? All the L's. They started off with Brazil, right? Was it Brazil? Brazil started it off right when they put the SmackDown on Sony, probably because they're pissed off that Sony costs ridiculous amount of money for the people to buy it over there. But they started that SmackDown stuff, and it just kept on rolling there. And then the ponies were on defense mode as they always do, right? That's their big thing, is to be the Sony Defense Force. But dude, they were just getting rolled, and then they were getting exposed to the point where they were like Phil. Sony was trying to block it, and Phil, what's his name? What's his name, dude? That the head of Sony came out there, and then he basically was saying, "We won't survive without COD." Then the CEO guy was like, "Yeah, dude," or the president or whatever, the Japanese dude was like, "Yeah, dude, you guys don't." That was a moment of clarity right there, dude. That was a definitely moment of clarity. Dude. It was just like, dude, you guys don't even buy your own games. That was awesome. The longer this rolls on, the more exposed people are getting. It's exposing gamers, right? Right? Because these guys they talk a big deal like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy that day one, and they don't do it, right? Then all the people that hate on Game Pass, they getting exposed. Then all the pony bots got exposed. This is how I think it was 100 that came up with it. Right? That's how we got pony bots. But whoever came up with it, brother, credit to you, dude. But that's another thing that AKB did, exposed them. A movie and a gaming showcase. Wow, what a complete disaster. Yeah, dude. That was like the cherry on the Sunday right there, dude. And I just again flashback to 2013, man. Vindicated again. Microsoft and Xbox vindicated because again they looked at their dude. We all have 360s, man. I'll say this again. I said on another video. I'll say this again, dude. I realized what the 360 was, and that's why I don't hate on Matrick as much as other people do, because I think regardless if you agree to the stuff he's doing, he had his pulse on the finger, or he had his finger on the pulse, right? Because every time I'll turn on my Xbox, the majority of the people on my list, now granted, it's just because the way my friends list is, right? You have some hardcore people on there, but there's two things that was happening on the 360 when I look at my friends list, when I would jump in, right? And you can see it, right? Because you remember they had that's when we had the blades, which was really cool, right? So you could have your avatar and you're sitting in front of whatever you're playing. So, or like I bought the stuff for the avatar where it would be the Marvel superheroes things. I had all that stuff. Um, so basically you had that, but then most of the people were either on Netflix or playing Left 4 Dead. That's what they were doing. So I'm pretty sure Microsoft looked at the metrics and was saying, "Look, dude, a lot of these people consume." And remember, like Xbox was the one that helped Netflix with the digital because Netflix put their stuff on Xbox 360, and that was a big help to them, right? In fact, I still hope that Microsoft, if they purchase anything outside of it, outside they get Netflix just to compete with like Amazon and all that. But yeah, dude, I remember that vividly. So I'm pretty sure they looked at all their metrics and were saying, look, this is what people are doing, and this is what people are doing. Now, over time, that could change. Like I think there was a good point being made about cable TV, right? Because they were trying to do a cable TV box, and that didn't work out because a lot of people became cord cutters, right? And then digital, but Microsoft was already ahead on that, was already ahead of the game with on digital as well. So they could have course corrected really easily. That wouldn't have been hard. But because of all the hate they got, man, we got left with nothing. Now on the flip side, man, it looks like when Phil took over, and then Microsoft was taking it more seriously. This is why we're at where this is why we are where we're at right now, which is awesome, right? But I mean, Microsoft took their lumps, dude, but they didn't give up. They learned and they got better, right? Just like a championship team, man. Just like my Steelers, man. They were never, they were kind of a joke in the NFL, and then that '70s rolled around, and they got Chuck Noll, and they put Chuck Noll in place. He had a game plan, dude. He implemented that game plan, and they became a championship legacy or dynasty. And that's what happens, dude. You either improve or you move on. Yeah, but that's the I love that, dude. I love that. Just again goes to show that Microsoft was right back in 2013. And we'll talk about this in detail on the podcast, dude. But I want to get all the brothers jumping on this stuff because a lot of us have been saying that for the longest time. Lisa, yeah, the Gran Turismo movie trailer had amazing graphics. Yeah, it's like it was real. Is that 4K? The funny thing about it is, though, I mean, aside of all of that kind of stuff, it could be a good movie, right? But at this point, right, the hypocrisy is at an all-time high. The hypocrisy is way past 10, man. The hypocrisy is on level 20 at this point. So I don't even want to, dude. These guys have been getting like destroyed on Twitter, man, and I happily joined in, dude, and rightfully so, man. These dudes need to be humbled, man. What's his name? UK Fox, Foxy UK, whatever that dude. Like I actually would watch his videos because he was just talking about gameplay and stuff like that. And then I think that was him. Oh, that might be somebody else. But anyway, this dude's on Twitter, man, and he basically he went radio silent, right? And then he just came back and said, "Okay, I take the L." And I shared that. I was like, "Yeah, bro, you need to you're gonna have to take this for at least a couple of days, dude. You talk so much trash, man. You was out there doing Nostradamus. Sony's gonna get this. Sony's gonna get that. Sony's gonna cure cancer. All of that stuff, dude. They was talking much trash. Yeah, Xbox One had a lot of things that were ahead of its time. Quantum Break was such a cool concept, tying in a TV show to a game. Sad to see it didn't. Yeah, yeah, and it was actually pretty good, dude. That's why you see a lot of people, man. One of the actors from that show, who's really huge right now, he passed away. And then a lot of people brought that back up. So people watched it, dude. Because people know him, are fans of his, and was like commenting on Quantum Break, right? And they like, so people actually did watch it. Now, the way they presented it, I think that could be criticized a little bit, right? Because basically you're trying to play the game and then you should go to a show. For somebody like me, that doesn't bother me because I like that kind of stuff, dude. I'm like that. I'm a pop culture nerd, dude. So that's right up my alley. But some people they have legitimate complaints about it, so totally fine with that. But yeah, this is so hopefully Microsoft will buy Netflix and then they can make their own shows. I think Sony might be sandbagging. You think so, Anthony? What's up, Anthony? By the way, yeah. You think they might be sandbagging? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I think all the chips were laid flat on the table today, bro. Look, I'm not saying that the games could be good. Right, and again, this is the Sony dudes, man. They went totally gloom and doom, man. At least on the Xbox side, because I've seen this, dude. We'd have a showcase, and they didn't show the big stuff. So you have your Jez Gordons and your freaking Randall L. Thors and those pricks Paris, right? All those guys over there, like, oh, well, they didn't show what we did. They didn't show the AAA bangers. Ryan McCaffrey have a meltdown. I'm not talking about those dudes, man. Because when I watch the showcase, I'm like, oh, really cool Sable. Yeah, that game looks cool, man. I love it. That looks like it's right up my alley. The stuff that they show, like Midnight Club Express, dude. When I remember that trailer was on there, was on one of our showcases, dude. I was waiting for it, dude. I knew about it. I was waiting for it. In fact, I bought it already. I played it on Game Pass. It is exactly what I thought it would be. Having a lot of blast with it. It's one of these games that I'll constantly play over and over again, right? Because it's not just about finishing the game. It's just the experience, man. Of trying to get different attacks and trying to use trying to set up different attacks, like trying to make something explode and then chain it off to something else to take out some bad guys. That's the type of gameplay it is. So as soon as I played in Game Pass, now I have it, dude. I added it to my library. In fact, I think it's on sale now. If you haven't picked it up, go ahead and pick it up. But I mean, it's just like they had the Plucky Squire, dude. And there's people who are like, "Oh, the Plucky Squire looks cool." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because we had it on Xbox. Xbox had it on one of their showcases, dude." And when that dropped, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm definitely playing that game." Right, because it starts off as like kind of a cartoony thing, and then it moves through like a fast surface, then it goes into 3D, and it looks like you're going to be able to move through that type of stuff. And I already know this from the Xbox showcase. I didn't need to watch the PlayStation one. So, but I'm just using that as an example that some of these games possibly could be really good, right? But again, the earth is the sky is falling because these PlayStation guys, dude. I'll say this 1,000 times. I'll keep on saying it, dude, because these guys are brand gamers, man. They play the brand. They could care less about the games. You saw what happened when those studios closed down, dude. Those Sony guys didn't shed a tear. A couple of them were sorry, right? But the majority of them was like, Sony knows what they're doing. Oh, and wait till that showcase. Well, here we are at the showcase, right? And did they show us anything? No. But those guys didn't even crack a tear, man. Not like on the Xbox side. When we hear that kind of stuff, we're like, oh, dude, what's going on? What happened? I hope they land on their feet. There's other people that reach out to them within the Xbox community, right? Within the developer community, because Xbox has ties with a lot of different people, right? There's some people that work on Xbox that works in other companies. They reach out to them, So that's what we have on this side, and on the other side, dude, you could hear pin drop. They don't care, as long as they got the console war and they got their sales. This is why these dudes are the scum of gaming. The ponies I'm talking about. Anthony Chipmunk, Sony would purposely sacrifice a showcase event for one opportunity because it would benefit them. Yeah, man, I don't follow that. Yeah, I mean, I could see what Anthony's saying, Isa, in a sense, but I agree with you. Anthony, I actually agree with Isa. I think this was the big, like for like the last year or so. A lot of guys like us on the Xbox side were being called conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. Um, I've been accused of having a tinfoil hat, wearing that with all these conspiracy theories and psyops and stuff like that. Well, all of that stuff came to light today by watching that showcase. That's why I recommend Anthony. If you have not watched, I'm not sure if you watched it. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, do watch it. Enjoy it. If you're an Xbox guy, you'll love this. You'll love this showcase. And again, I'm being facetious, man. It's not so much because of the content; it's just the logic of Sony, right? They basically screaming uncle at this point and saying, "Okay, we have to follow Microsoft, like they always do, right? They're back on track to their original game plan. We'll let Microsoft take all the arrows, and then we'll try and come in the end and do as minimal as possible, so that we can survive in this gaming environment, even though they need to be dead already and gone." Issa, where was Ronin or Stellar Blade? Hadisa, where was Ronin or Stellar Blade? Huh? Or did I miss something? Hold on. I thought they had the Stellar Blade. They didn't have that, Anthony. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. I'm glad Xbox got Metal Gear though. Yeah, I figured it would, dude. Because they're already talking to old boy, man. I mean, he's gonna do a game for us. I don't know what that game is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be weird. Probably, knowing Kojima. It's probably be extra weird because he has Microsoft money backing him up now. But it's cool, dude. You need that variety, right? And I'm not just saying this so that we'll get people to come over and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the formula is intact. Again, Sony basically vindicated that as well, right? This is what you got to do, man. You need to have a lot of different. um, You got to have a lot of things on the stove, man. You got to have a lot of stuff cooking at the same time. This is like a 10 course meal, man. It's not like a 1 or 2 course meal. This is a 10 course meal that Microsoft has laid out the game plan for. This is how they're going to do it moving forward. And it's interesting to me, dude, because when they do their showcases, that's what they're basically doing. They're like, okay, you want this? Okay, good. You don't like that? Okay, how about this? Well, you don't like that type of game? What about this? I don't think there's not one genre of gaming that Microsoft has not touched, either by third party involvement, single party, or first party studios, um, backwards compatibility, bringing that stuff back. So, yeah, dude. Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid, I like Metal Gear Solid, the first one, and then I think two and then three are all going to get redone, right? So the first one I probably would. I don't know how good it's gonna look. Though. I mean, are they gonna redo it? Redo it? That's what it sounds like to me. They're just not gonna remaster it. They're gonna do like what Capcom did with Resident Evil. If they do that, I might go back and actually play the first Metal Gear Solid, especially if they put it on Game Pass. So yeah, cheers, brother. Cheers, Anthony. Thanks for coming by, bro. I appreciate it, man. I'm getting Metal Gear and troll them all. Dude, Aaron Greenberg, man, like you said, Lewis, man, when he dropped that advertisement, dude, when Microsoft did that, that was classic. That was awesome. That was very well worth the the price of admission for being on Twitter. Did you see the Xbox 3 right after the show? Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Elvis. Elvis. Yeah, dude, that's what we were talking about earlier, man. That was perfectly timed, dude. That's right up there with the refrigerator that they did earlier. Um, they did two, right? The refrigerator and the mini fridge. And the refrigerator, they were smart because they did it with Snoop Dogg and I think somebody else. And then the mini fridge they did with the Rock. Unfortunately, man, the Rock's drinks are horrible, dude. I tried to drink those, man. I'm like, because I drink energy drinks, I'm like, dude, that was not good, my brother. Need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, that was spicy. Yeah, and yeah, some people are already crying about that. Oh, I thought Microsoft, why are they doing that? I'm like, dude, Microsoft has been taking you guys crap for so long and been nice about it. And not only was this like it was like a nice fire across the bow, right? And for all intent and purposes, they needed to do it, but Sony lies, right? Sony won't do it, and they won't get called out by IGN or any of these other people. Well, it's going to be on Xbox. They won't say that crap. And all PlayStation does is show it, and they put their symbol on it. So yeah, that was more than justified for Microsoft to let people know, okay, we're also getting these games. Yeah, so that was totally justifiable. Don't believe all these crybabies out there. Oh, I thought Phil Spencer was a nice guy. No, no, that was nothing bad. That was perfectly justifiable because Sony's not gonna go out there and do the right thing. They're calling the MGS Collection Volume One, so MGS Four might be coming too with Volume Two. All right. Hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's cool. Like, there's a lot of MGS fans out there, dude. And if they do so Woken, do you know if it's a? I guess my question is it a remaster or are they redoing the game, kind of like what they were doing with Resident Evil, like they're totally making it like a brand new game. MGS One is coming for the first time to Xbox. If MGS Four comes to Xbox Two, whoa. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they never got it right because I had a PlayStation back then. I bought two games at the same time. It was Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil 2. And the thing I remember the most about it because I was in my room playing it, and my sister then would come by. So my family doesn't play games at all, right? And so I was playing it, and they stopped and watched it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, is that a video game?" And they actually sat there and watched me play. And I was like, "Yep." Oops, sorry, working. MGS3 is a total remake. Oh, nice. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's the one that they did tonight, right? On that PlayStation thing. Like I said, guys, I was watching it, but I was watching it for dubious reasons. I was watching the showcase. It was hilarious, dude. Okay, yeah, thanks, Vulcan. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't put two and two together. That's the one where the snake eats the bird and then the alligator attacks that. That was I was wondering what was going on with that thing. We did Elvis. It was epic. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was funny. Hey, so was there anything? If you guys watched the showcase, was there anything that you guys did like on the showcase? You can be honest. Dude. I'm not gonna. Uh, I give PlayStation guys crap because they're hypocrites. I don't even actually care what Sony does, to be perfectly honest with you, unless it affects me and the Xbox and my ecosystem. That's why I talk about it. And of course, it's more principle for me, guys. If you guys watch my videos, it's more about the principle of it. Like again, like with the Square Enix thing, I don't care if they go to. I don't care like if a lot of like with Final Fantasy, people are like, oh, they bought the deal and Final Fantasy is gonna be a PlayStation. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I got like, dude, I got like how many games right now? I haven't played Blaze Blue. I haven't played Guilty Gear. I haven't played Ravenlock. I haven't played Benedict. The Curious Case of Benedict, right? I haven't played any of that, dude. I'm falling behind on the only thing I've been playing is Redfall. And then I got games that I started that I actually bought that I need to play on top of the back catalog. And then the regular stuff that Microsoft drops. Right? There's I think next week is Street Fighter 6. I might actually pick that up. I think the fighting games are coming to like a renaissance of sorts. I experienced that in the '90s arcade renaissance when fighting games kind of took over. And it seems like it's like that time again because there's like so many of the games, like I said, but I haven't even got a chance to play some of these. Man. It's been hard. It's been hard, dude. The 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 level of which um, of just quantity on top of quality on the Xbox side, especially with Game Pass, has just been it's actually been kind of a bane if I'm not lying. If you guys listen to E-Rock, was talking about this man where he has these games on there. He likes five of the games, but he can't only play but so much of them, and he doesn't have space enough for all of them. Right, so he makes the tough decision of removing some of the games and then just basically sticking with the game that he likes. And the storage issue is an issue, right? You especially if you do the X and S games, right? You need to put on your internal hard drive. But aside from that, just the fact that the amount of games, dude, my library has grown by a couple hundred games. Um, and I don't know if I'll ever get, I gotta make. It's been hard to get to play everything. That's the reality, man. This is why I don't take a lot of people seriously. That says we don't have any games. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be drowning in games right now, and that's a problem right now. This is why like when some stuff gets delayed for Xbox, I'm like, thank God, because I won't be able to play it anyway, right? And I want to try and support the developers I have now, but so many things are coming out. That's why sometimes I don't buy certain games, even though they're new and I know I like them. It's because like something's dropping off that I forgot about, and I want to support that person for various reasons. Like for a lot of reasons, man, it's because they came and they supported us. They supported like some of these guys took up the mantle. Like there's a business proposition to it as well, but they basically came in and said, okay, yeah, we'll support Game Pass. So those guys that day one with us, they're there. Like we got Stray and Sifu coming, right? And I don't know if they're in Game Pass, right? But then they're coming over to Xbox. I'm like, dude, you guys go to the back of the line, bro. Like Sifu looks cool. Stray, I mean, if you play Power Washer and stuff like that, I'm not gonna hit on the game, but I'm like, okay, sorry, man, you wasn't with us day one, so you go to the back of the line. And on top of that, I just need a reason to put you in the back of the line. I don't need a lot to put you in the back of the line because I'm fine, dude. As Sega Man says, we eat good over here. And that's 100% true. It's not something to say as a talking point or something to say because you're in a console war, dude. That is 100% uncut, unadulterated truth, what Sega Man is saying. Because we are struggling. They're also porting MGS1 and HD collection of two. Wow. Which is weird because you can play 2 or 3 on Xbox already. But we'll see what they do, man. And I think that's the philosophy of Microsoft, right? Is basically just giving people what they want. Because even though if I might not be interested in it, there might be somebody that'll do it. Now, if they can get it on Game Pass, that's the kicker as well, because they can do that. Hey, what's up, Hebot? Hey, brother. What's up, man? Yeah, I just decided to do this really quick live podcast. I was gonna try and record it, but I was like, it'd be faster. But I just wanted to kind of put my thoughts out about that showcase, dude. Hebot, if you haven't watched the showcase, go watch it, bro. It's funny. It's awesome. It's basically a Microsoft like showcase because a lot of those games are coming to us anyway. So like when Microsoft does their showcase, they don't have to worry about showing the games because Sony already did it for them. But the most important part is it vindicates everything you said, brother. Let's do a podcast on Friday. Let's do a podcast, bro. I meant to call you earlier because I need you to do a podcast with you, man. I need you to go nuclear, man, on these guys because you were right, 100%. Everything you've been talking about since 2013, man. You saw what Paul Tassi posted. Paul Tassi posted, oh, maybe Xbox was ahead of his time, and that's what you've been saying, dude, since 2013, bro. As long as I've known you, you've been preaching this. So it's time for you to take a bow. It's time for Xbox to get their due. This is kind of like a preview of that podcast what I'm doing here, but basically focusing on the PlayStation podcast. But all of this stuff, dude, it's coming around, dude. It's coming full circle. Dude, it's boomeranging back, dude. We need to do it. I will hit you up, brother. I hope you're feeling good, bro. Oh, are you good? Oh, hold on. Okay, wait. All right, my brother. Stand by, bro. I just saw your. Let me try and get Hebot in this bad boy because I want my brother to go ham on these bad boys because these people are jokers. Oh, I see you. Oh, I see you, bro. I see you. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow. You know, I'm not as fast as unlimited. I'm limited because I zipping through this stuff. What's going on here? Hold on, guys. Just bear with me. Bear with me for 1 second as I try and get Hebot in this bad boy. All right, bro. I fired it off, brother. All right, we're gonna have Hebot jump in on a second. There's two separate scores. It's a 7 out of 10 if you're only talking about the games. It was a 2 out of 10 if you're supposed to make me sell my X. Awesome. Hey, good job, Wilkin. That's a good one, bro. I might steal that one, man. Put that on Twitter. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Like if I'm looking at it from a game perspective, Hebot, I sent it, brother. Jump in. I sent it on Twitter. Yeah, Wilkin, man. I 100% agree, dude. I think the ponies agree too, man, because they 2 out of 10. Dude, these guys are losing their mind, man. They could go commit Harry Carey. These dudes was losing it. And then when I watched it, right, and there was like I watched it, and I was like, okay, like definitely it's not what you guys expected. Was it a totally bad? I mean, was it totally bad? I don't think so. I mean, but then again, I'm not a PlayStation guy. I mean, by their metrics, I mean everything about it sucked. But then you saw like Plucky, what is that? The Plucky Knight or whatever. Yeah, like that game. Like I said, I saw that on the Xbox thing. They had the Bungie's newest shooter, and then they had this other one that looked pretty cool, man. It's like a samurai or whatever. Uh, that one looked like a cool game. Like I think they would have been happy about that one. That looks like something that's right up their alley. It like looks like a Souls type of game. But I thought the artwork was good, the animation. It looks more Ninja Gaiden though, like it was like action oriented. Like what's the one we got one like recently, like 2 months ago, which is pretty awesome. It's on Game Pass that I've been playing. Well, I kind of fell off of it once Redfall hit, but Hebot, man, please jump in, brother. I sent you the link on Twitter. MK1 and Tekken 8, they went for me. Yeah, dude. That's crazy that it's I don't know, they're just like they all got together and like decided to drop all their games now. Like for at some point, man, we were just getting the anime stuff, right? And now it's just like maybe these guys saw that and decided to like step up their game. Because we already got what was this? Samurai Showdown came out earlier, right? What was it like last year or something? And then you got Guilty Gear. Like there's a ton of games I have on Game Pass stuff that I downloaded, and then I think I bought Fatal Fury, their newest one. Yeah, dude, that's. I'll definitely be looking at that, but I still gotta get. I gotta play some of the other stuff that I have. But yeah, dude, hopefully you post some stuff on that, man. I'd love to see it. It looks awesome. They both look awesome. In fact, next week isn't Street Fighter 6 come out next week? Dude, that's crazy. AC Mirage, Starfield, Hellblade 2. Oh, okay. Forza Motorsport, MSG 3, Snake Eater, and Diablo 4. Jeez, that's overwhelming, but we're sorted for this. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's and that's not even this again. This is why I hate a lot of these people, man. Because all right, guys, we're gonna have Hebot jump in. Bro, what's up, my brother? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. What's up, dude?
Just there trying to do some some recordings on some games I got. I haven't tried out yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw your videos drop. I'm gonna watch them this weekend. We got a 3-day weekend coming in, so I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, the
yeah, I'm gonna
Memorial weekend.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm,
But
I'm
but I wanted to
kind of
do
dealing
something
with
with your
COVID
friend.
right now.
What's up?
Huh?
What did you say?
I said I'm kind of dealing with the whole family with COVID and shit.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
So we've been here in the house.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
yeah.
kind of awake right now because I napped earlier.
Okay.
How's everything with you, brother? I saw you on. I was like, oh, let me see if I can go in for at least a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm glad you came in. Like I said, I wanted to do. I need you to do that podcast with me, man, this weekend because you need to go nuclear, man. You need to take your bows, man. Because I mean,
Uh,
this week has been awesome, dude. Like Tassie, that prick, once he dropped that article,
mm.
about saying Xbox was ahead of its time.
My favorite
And
dick puller.
yeah, exactly. That's your boy. And and what have you been saying, dude, for the last 10 years, bro? You've been preaching this gospel for for as long as I've known you, man. I mean, come on, dude. We have to talk
Jesus.
about this.
Listen, anyone that's been gaming as long as we have and been a fan and seen the way that they do things, routines, how things circle around, you would have known right off the bat, how things were going to end up eventually.
Yeah,
That they were the perfect example. You seen how that Sony PlayStation showcase, it was exactly. It felt more like an Xbox showcase
yeah. That's why I'm telling
because if
people.
you notice, they had all these different types of games, right?
Yeah,
A bunch of multiplats, and
indeed.
the funniest thing is a couple of days ago, Jim Ryan was like, "We're gonna make a statement." Like they were gonna do something, so powerful that it was gonna make you go buy a PlayStation and sell your Xbox. There were people saying that dumb shit.
Dude, on Twitter, man, and some of these people, I'm not talking about ponies. There's this girl
Yeah,
that I
you're
just
talking about Xbox dudes, eh?
yeah, and but some of these people are regular gamers. They're like they got it because that's all people have been preaching about, right? So they bought into the hype, and then this one girl was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sell my Xbox. I might get it later, but if Sony's bringing it, I'm just gonna go buy. I'm gonna sell it today and then go get an next PlayStation." So I was like, "Dude, I was trying to find that guy. Like, I hope he didn't sell your PlayStation, dude."
Boy, that Gran Turismo movie trailer really saying you sell that
Oh,
Xbox.
oh, oh, that was another one, dude. Like I said in the title, dude, Vindication, man. That's what we'll do Friday, dude. We
Movie,
gotta talk
movie,
about
movie.
just like yesterday. My
How
emails.
the irony in that, right? How
Oh, did
Microsoft was looked at as the company that, oh, they're not focusing on games, they're focusing on movie, movie, movie. Yeah, guess what? Guess what? While they were doing their showcase today, we got another exclusive that they don't even have, which was the Planet of Lena or Lana, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I heard
Planet
you
of Lana.
talking earlier how you haven't been able to try a bunch of stuff, which is true. We got
Yeah,
Ravenlock, we got fucking the Adventures of Benedict Fox, Planet Lana, Redfall, all back to back, everything. Like it's like you don't have time to breathe on Xbox. Like holy shit!
you know that game Dredge? I just bought it. I just went ahead and bought it because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get to this. I just bought it, and then I'm like, and then all these other games are dropping. Dude, I haven't even got to play the what's that game that came out it's like Ninja Gaiden. It just came
Oh,
out.
you talking about Solstice?
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go buy this game because like I'm stuck on
And
Redfall.
Bramble, my brother, I just got Bramble. That game is fucking awesome. And they
Oh,
have a physical copy, so I bought the physical. Then my
okay.
son bought he bought Seafood. That's already available as well. So Seafood is already also available, as
Yeah.
you know.
It's yeah. I was kind of
And
talking
you
about
actually
that.
get a physical copy of it. It was great too. What I saw, my son told me that we saw this week. Microids had put something out
Yeah, yeah,
that Inspector Gadget, the game, right, wasn't coming to Xbox. And so the people were like, "Yo, what do you mean?" Like, because they really, I guess, were hyped to see an Inspector Gadget game since it's been kind of a long time, right?
yeah.
And we never really seen one. And I tell people all the time that the Xbox gamer, predominantly, I would say maybe 80% is mostly older gamers, like old school gamers. And people don't want to believe that. They're like, nah, that's not true. I was like, yeah, it really is. The
Yeah.
teenagers are the ones that buy, that buy the PlayStation because it's the cool thing to have, right? That's why they don't buy a lot of games, because their audience is mainly younger kids that don't have the money or don't have the income, right?
Or
And
just
that's
play
not the
COD.
throw,
Or just play
and that's
COD.
not
Yeah.
right, and that's not to throw shade, obviously, at
No, that's true.
no kid, because there's a lot of young kids that are actually out here doing their thing and making bread, and hustling and stuff, But the majority, for the most part, they're not really economically stable yet, obviously, because that's just the way it is in life, right?
Yeah.
For most normal people, right? You have your exceptions and some of your anomalies that become like millionaires at a young age, but that's not really the case with the normality in real life. But anyway, like I said, most people on Xbox, and I've said it, are older. They're older
Mm-hmm.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
So they see this defective gadget and they're like, yo, what the fuck? Why is it not coming to Xbox? And they spoke loud enough that Micro is like, okay, we're gonna bring it out. The only thing I don't like is that they like, oh, we're just gonna bring it out digitally. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, dude,
I thought about you when I saw
I'm like, dude, you guys really act as if Microsoft gamers, right, or Xbox gamers won't buy games physical if it's not a game that they like.
right.
If they like the game, we're gonna buy it physical. People may not believe it, but it's true. I
Well,
got
most of the
showed,
collectors are on our side anyway.
huh?
Most of the collectors are on on the Xbox side. I would say from the
Oh,
videos
the
I see.
collectors. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially also when it comes to like the peripherals, like the
Limited
what you
editions.
call that? The controllers,
Yeah, look what
consoles that
Unlimited
are
did.
custom. Yeah,
Unlimited bought like
dude,
all
that
five.
motherfucker, he's
I
in
know, dude. I
fucking
was so mad. I'm
insane.
not gonna lie. I was mad when I saw that. I was like,
He's
what is
insane. Insane. The man bought all 5
this?
controllers all at once. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yo,
was a
you
little
sick.
salty. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that thumbnail, I was like, no way, he did not.
They're nice as hell too. Yeah, man. I wish I
Yeah,
could have at least gotten one. I wanted to get at least one.
yeah, because they're limited.
I did buy. I did buy my wife the. I bought my wife the.
OPI.
Excuse me, brother. I said the COVID is really hitting me right now.
Oh no. Take it.
I bought her the nail polish controller.
Yeah. I bought my daughter that her graduation present. I bought that
Oh,
for her.
it's beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful
that's awesome.
controller. I haven't done an unboxing on it yet because I want to do it where my wife's next to me, and I
Oh,
bought
that's
her
awesome.
the actual colors of the same brand of the controller to paint her nails so that she can talk about how she likes the controller while I unbox it.
Yeah, dude, that's
That was an idea I have. So I was like, cool, but yeah. So I got her that, and like I said, I bought Bramble, I bought seafood. I think I have Bramble.
Hey, what's
Really,
up, Radiance, bro? Welcome to the podcast, brother.
if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
better late than never.
I can't even see it. If I'm not getting mistaken, just to show you, because people might not believe me, because I didn't put it in the thing yet, like I haven't done a video yet. But look,
Yeah,
see,
Bramble.
I bought it physical for Xbox.
Nice.
A lot of people don't know what's out. See?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dude, I heard good things about the game.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's really it has like a very a nice vibe to like something like like Never Ending Story, like the feel of the world.
Isn't it Norwegian based, or is it Norwegian folklore?
I believe so. I believe so. It's a little kid, and he's It's a little kid. He's out with his sister,
Mhm.
and he's out with his sister, and oh my god, how do I explain it? He's out with his sister, and like or they're reading a fairy tale to each other, like in the middle of the night, in their house, and then out of nowhere, the little like they hear something I guess outside like a noise,
Mhm.
and so they go into this forest and she's following each other, and the sister gets captured by this type of I'm trying to remember. It was like it looks almost like a goat man, maybe.
Oh, okay.
If I, he almost looks like a goat man, but yeah, like it's really cool. Graphically though, it's like awesome. It's the same thing like freaking like Benedict Fox. When you play Benedict Fox, it has that Metrovania structure.
Mhm.
But when you're playing the game, man, that game looks gorgeous. Like it looks really good. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah, that the animation and stuff like that, just the colors stood out to me when I first saw it.
It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. So yeah, man, I'm looking at this PlayStation thing. And I'm like, yo, for real? Like these guys are really doing the Xbox shit right now.
Yeah.
All
What do
that
we always say,
bullshit,
right? What do you always
all
say,
that
dude? They copy, right? So there you go.
everything.
They
Dude,
copy.
they even trying to do the whole thing with the with with kind of having cloud on the goal, so they're trying to make that I guess is that screen where you can play it and try to use it like almost like a cloud thing.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. You could take it way too far. All I know was like, wow, these guys. And then they did the controller for the disabled, right? And I'm like, Xbox got so much shit. Oh, they only concentrate on controllers. They only concentrate on this, on that, and not what they need to, which is games. Then you
Right.
see that fucking trailer for the Gran Turismo movie. I'm like, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Did you hear anybody like the usual? I kind of someone went to make dinner and stuff, but I didn't see any of these dudes. Like, there's hot takes, but I didn't see like I'm gonna be waiting for like IGN and all these dudes to
Oh yeah,
take
like Ryan McCaffrey,
McCaffrey.
Xbox got to really hit it. They really got to hit the mark with Starfield. Now it's over for them. Like, dude, shut your fucking
I know, dude. It's
goddamn shaggy face up. Like, go do some mystery solving with Scooby Doo or something, dude. He's so
yeah,
dumb.
I was like writing. I was
He's
like,
so
okay. Well, I was writing like 11 out of 20. Oh, why not 20 out of 20 then? Why not 30 out of 30? Why? I was like, what does that
my,
mean? 11 out of 10. Jerk.
my favorite part is that for a fact that these dudes, all these people are streaming with the idea, thinking like, oh my God, Sony's gonna have like 1,000 games that are gonna be exclusive, and Xbox gonna look like they don't have nothing. They're gonna have all these AAA and none of it, not even close.
No.
I thought it was so hysterical. I was
You
like,
know what's
they're salty.
you know what's
MBG was salty as hell. He even dressed himself as Metal Gear Solid.
yeah, we
I
were
was
talking about that.
dying. And then Xbox comes and tweets right after, oh my God, these games look great coming to Xbox. I was on the floor. I was like, yes.
You know what was
Like,
funny?
yes.
It reminded me of like one of our showcases, but back in like 2015 when Phil first started taking over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the stuff that we have now, dude, it's been fermenting, dude. Like they laid the foundation, it's been fermenting, right? Like we're cracking it open right now, and it had time to age and age very well. That's why like the ID at
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, a lot of those games get critical acclaim, right? The AAA titles like with Halo, dude. All the hate Halo gets, dude. People are so engaged. Grounded is engaged. Everybody's playing it. Even Redfall, dude. People are playing that game. So
Right.
where we are now is for like Sony, unfortunately, they're like a day late and a dollar short with a lot of this stuff. Um, So it'll be interesting. It's interesting to see because when I watched that showcase, I was like, yeah, that was us like in 2014, 2015 when Phil took over.
Yeah, I was telling my boys it's actually a good showcase because, to be honest, they had a lot of different games.
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't feel like every game felt like every other game that they always show. Like they didn't feel the same. They had priority finally for once. But what was funny was how they showed all those gas games. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
from the jump too.
listen, how long has, I mean, Jim Ryan's been telling you, I just don't want to believe it. He's like, we're trying to establish gas games for income or sturdy income. Because, that's why he said, things like Call of Duty makes them so much money that they could afford to build their single player experience. Then you saw, I love that. They showed Spider-Man. This shit look exactly like the same old Spider-Man. They showed some quick time events, some Uncharted moments,
Yeah.
and like 100 hours of cutscene. I'm like, really? Like, I told you, and people were like, what the fuck? Like, what are you expecting? Then my Final Fantasy, what was it, 15, 16?
Oh, I didn't
That
know
shit
that was
looked,
Final Fantasy.
that shit looked downgrade as fuck.
But I didn't know that was Final Fantasy. I thought that was like a new IP. Like I was like, okay,
Really?
maybe.
Yeah, no. What I did like was the other one, Gray, the one that's
Yeah,
called Gray Blue.
yeah, that's the one of the ones I talked
Oh,
about. That
Gray.
one and then that
But that's
Samurai.
because that's the one that Platinum was working on, and that they took them out of the job because they were taking too long to. That was that game.
Oh, really? I
You
didn't know
know
that.
that, right?
I did not know that. No.
What's it called? The game there is again?
Grand Blue Fantasy.
Grand Blue Fantasy. That's the one.
Yeah. Because it stood out. I
That
was like, oh, this game was pretty good.
it looks cool. Yeah, it looked good. It looked cool. That's what it said.
What was the Samurai one? That one stood out to me too. But oh wait, I think Wilkin said. Wilkin, did you say that? Phantom Blade. Yeah, thanks, Wilkin. I think that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, that game looked cool to me.
Which Phantom Blade. I think it was Phantom G. The hack and slash you're talking about?
Well, it's the one with the dude that looks like it's like a samurai. It's like a.
It looks like a samurai. Yeah, he was on top of the horses while the horses were riding and was raining, and he was fighting the dude.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like Dark Souls. That's what I was happy about.
Yeah, it looks more like the one we got a couple last month, right? That
it looks like a hack and slash. Oh, the combat looks sweet. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was like, yes. Finally. I mean, I believe it's also either time exclusive or not. Not exclusive. Probably a marketing deal because they didn't say PlayStation exclusive. It said coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure Xbox.
That'll probably be like a time exclusive, or they'll do like a marketing deal maybe. But that's okay. As long as we get to play it on our Xbox, I'm cool.
Look what Wilkin put, dude. Splatoon ripoff. That's that one game that they had on there. Did they look? When it started off, I thought, oh, it's kind of anime looking. Like, what is this? Like, it's going to be a battle royale or something like that. And then they started like shooting bubbles, shampoo all over the place. And then as soon as you see it, everybody's like, because I saw this on Twitter in real time. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like they're ripping off Nintendo now. It looks like Splatoon. And then they said one of their games,
that's Square Enix game.
Yeah,
Phantom Balloon, I think it's called. Phantom Foam. Foam Adventures.
Yeah, welcome to Phantom Blade, yes. Okay.
Oh my god. And Dragon Dogma looked pretty nice. I was happy. Happy about that. My son been wanting a sequel for that game. Bro, I forgot how long. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah, look at that. Wilkins said Xbox is 5 steps ahead. We have Rogue Ally, where you can play Game Pass natively, not just cloud.
I mean,
yeah, you're right, Wilkin, man. Sony, they're daily dollar short. IGN gave the PS show an 8. Really, Radiance? Wow. Well, like Heba says, I agree with him. Like it was like if you look at it for what it's worth as a gamer.
Well, as a gamer. Yeah. I thought it was a solid show in the sense that they actually showed different amounts of games when they usually don't.
Yeah.
Usually it's just the same format, but they didn't do that this time. So I was like, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's actually not bad.
Well, I'll say this:
But
as a PlayStation show, it was a 2. As an Xbox Light show, it was an 8. Where's
oh
Zobi
my
at?
god!
We gotta get Zobi on this, man. I would love to hear what he's. We gotta get Zobi 70.
Oh,
Hey, Zobi, what did you think of that?
you
Because
know,
Zobi gave up.
Zobi,
He's so bad on the PlayStation that I think he gave up on gaming altogether.
Zobi probably said some wild shit.
Some media outlets said that the show was great. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they're entitled to
Oh,
their opinion.
now they want to say it's great.
The most important thing, Radiance, and then Shane G's in the chat. Shane, welcome, bro. Is that the ponies were all losing their mind on Twitter. That was the most beautiful thing to me. Because they can't.
Man,
Me and Heba can sit here and say this things because we're gamers, and we're very we're Xbox guys and we're satisfied. We're confident, right?
look,
We're confident in Xbox, so we can sit there and talk honestly about stuff. But the ponies, they painted themselves into a corner because they've been talking all this trash for weeks and weeks. And then they're the ones that was saying, I thought Sony was gonna buy Take-Two, Square Enix, and what's the other company? Ubisoft.
oh,
That
dude,
was
everybody,
right.
everybody
Right.
was swearing. Everybody was swearing.
One of these
Everybody was swearing up and down that they were about to buy Apple. Sony was about to buy Apple.
Yeah.
You didn't know? You might have had someone.
Like for me, like maybe Apple by Sony, I could see that happening. But they'll probably gut them and just pick up some of their stuff for their own store. But like me and Heba, dude, that's how we are. We old school, number one. We're Sega fans. We're Sega fanboys to the core. So stuff like that doesn't bother us. This is how I think we can look at things. And a lot of you guys in the chat, man, you guys don't have the same hangups and biases like the people on the Sony side do, and that's why they take those L's, man, because they have the most outlandish, over the top takes when it comes to this kind of stuff, and then when it blows up in their face, and they can't say anything, right? Because they've been hating on the Xbox stuff. Like Heba says,
Right.
this was like probably the most Xbox centric Sony.
Yeah, it's the most Xbox centric show.
Yeah, basically, they just
And now the funny thing is, but here's the irony of that too.
Mhm.
The funny thing is with that too is that now, like if people were like, "Oh yeah, man, all they had was like multiplayer." Yeah, guess what? Now Xbox in their showcase, they're gonna have exclusives.
Yes,
Because
yes.
if they show Forza, it's an exclusive. They show Starfield, it's only on Xbox, right? It's not a multiplayer. If they show Hellblade, it's an exclusive. If they show Avowed, it's an exclusive. If they show Fable, it's an exclusive. If they show Everwild, it's an exclusive. If they show Contraband, it's an exclusive. If they show Indiana Jones, it's going to be an exclusive. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be a thing like, with Sony today that everything was a multi-plat. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the reality's starting to set in, bro. They said it. They just can't afford shit the way they used to.
Yeah, they have to. They're being forced, and Microsoft is a big part of this. They're being forced. Like I know, I give Phil a lot of hate and stuff like this, but this is the nice guy. This is the passive aggressive stuff I talk about with Microsoft, right? Is that they're so big that whatever direction they flow, you are forced to kind of go in that direction, and that's what you saw tonight. So, like for the next showcase we have, there is no pressure on Microsoft after this Sony conference, because the ponies that we deal with every day, there's these sycophants and psychopaths that we deal with every day. They can't say anything, right? Because if they try and defend Sony now, they're basically defending Xbox and Microsoft because, like he said, very softish style.
But now they're a victim of their own bullshit. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, they are, and
they're a victim of their own BS.
Yes, and the sad thing about it, all the casuals on their side, that's starting to come into view because the casuals are saying this like, well, I thought this game was cool. That looks interesting to me because these people they're not dedicated. They're not Sony ponies.
Right.
And that's why that AKB deal matters because when
listen, that dude, what's his name? MBG. He dressed up as Solid Snake. Oh my God! What a dumbass! Oh my God! He was a fucking clown. He was so depressed. He's like, yo, right now, if Phil Spencer saw the show, he's like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah. He had a moment of, as they say, as everybody online says, he has a moment of clarity.
That shit was
So
fucking
bad it was.
funny.
Look at what Wilkins said. He said those gas games look like ass. You know what?
Well, I mean, they did, but Wilkin, in all fairness, they got to start from somewhere. Lightning
No,
in the
that's
bottle
just
doesn't come all the time. You know what I mean? It's not something that strikes just like that. It takes time. But again, the point that we try to point out is Jim Ryan been saying this, yo, we got to do different things. We got to like that's
yeah.
why they're like PC is a big part of PlayStation going forward. You know, that's why they're saying these things. And again, it's gonna come to a point, guys, whether you want to believe us or not. You can mark my words. And y'all can call me on it later on if you want to be like, yo, Ebi, and you were the one that said this. I'm telling you, it's going to come to a point where their games will be day and day on their services as well. Because it only makes sense, you know, to give people the option. If they can't go out and buy games for $70 right away, they can try the games and then they know, they feel confident on what they're buying. That's what Game Pass creates. It creates freedom of mind and purchasing, and it ends up leading to more purchases because now people know where they're investing their monies without no problems, without no hesitations, because they feel secure. When I play Hi-Fi Rush, I haven't bought it because I want a physical of the game.
Yeah.
And I've been tweeting out numerous times already, make a physical of this game. It deserves it. Especially for those people that are casuals that only go to a GameStop, don't really watch Twitter, don't really be on social, and that don't understand that there's other outlets to find out about video games. When they see the game, you know, in the store shelves, they're gonna buy it because it looks appealing, especially if it has like all the ratings on it. You know what I'm saying? Like the most highly acclaimed game, this and this and that. And then the price point obviously will be appealing as well. Because you know it's not going to be a game that's going to be super duper expensive. It'll probably be $30, $40 max.
Yeah.
You know, because of the fact that it's a more economically a more economical game, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, because they said it for a long time that the game was gonna be, you know, that the game was, you know, the game wasn't that expensive to begin with. When you buy it digitally, it's like $30.
It's also his that was kind of like that dude's passion project. So I would say like
What was that?
it's kind of the guys that was, I forgot his name, but he basically was like, that's this was like his passion project to do that game. So
Well, Hi-Fi Rush is one of those games. It's one of those games that, you know, if people, you know, if people see it in the shelves, it'll sell. It has bright colors, you know, great character design, a very anime feel. Give it a beautiful artwork, like, you know, the main artwork of the game. You know, the main cover, the cover that we see on, you know, on Xbox. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the cover you see on the dashboard for the game.
Yeah.
Make that the cover art of the game, and I guarantee you, it'll sell. It'll sell because it looks attractive. You know what I mean?
There's so much there's so much what's the word I'm looking for? There's so much pop to a lot of the characters too. So you could do variations and stuff like that on it. Because it's very stylized. It's very stylized.
Oh yeah. It has a very anime feel to it, right? But it's also a very polished game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, that's another thing.
Unique. It's very unique in the style that it has too. That's what sets it apart from other.
Yeah, because it's a mixture. It's a mixture of like Devil May Cry, has a little bit of Sunset Overdrive in there.
Yeah,
it has a little bit of like even Space Channel 5. Like it has a lot of Like yeah, like, I know that's what I said. It's very like you could tell that they are fans of games, especially unique games that are different.
Mhm.
Yeah, it had that Sega feel. Thank you, son. That's what I was trying to say. It
Yeah,
has
a
a
lot of
very
people are
Sega
saying
feel.
against it. Yeah,
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush feels like something that Sega would have done,
yeah, back in
back
the day.
then.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's just their. It's just it felt like their style, right?
I
And
agree.
it was one of those things too that I was like, damn, imagine Sega did do this shit.
Man, shout
Imagine
out to your
Sega.
son, bro. Shout out to your son. That was a good. Okay, shout out to your son in the background, bro. That was a good. That was a
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. No, because he's he heard me talking with you about it. Because he beat the game.
That's
He
100%.
played it.
Yeah,
He played the game. At first, he was like, I ain't gonna play this. And then he played it. He was like, damn, this fucking game is good and it's polished. He beat it.
yeah. And the battles, everything.
He can start playing it. He's like, it's cool. It's a cool game. And then it has a lot of different gameplay variety in it, segments as well.
Nothing's in that game. Nothing's wasted. There's no throwaway moments at all.
No, 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 no. They knew what they were doing. They knew what their goal was, and they executed very well.
See what Radiant said? Radiant said Xbox will have 90% Game Pass games. I hope so.
Ah,
I hope
what do
so.
you think? What do you mean, Radiant? Wait, Radiant. What do you mean? Like when they do their showcase, you feel that 90% of the titles will be all on Game Pass? You mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be about that high.
I mean, it only makes sense because it creates more awareness for the players to come in and play, even for the casuals.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, casuals come in, try it out. Oh, I like this game, and they'll buy it. The only flaw that I feel Microsoft needs to work on, and I mean it with all the best intentions, because I'm a gamer first and foremost. You know that.
I think I
And
know.
I love Xbox. I love how Xbox is doing things.
Yes.
But they need to do more games physically. And you probably saw where I was coming from anyway. But
Yeah.
because some of those games, people would like to own them physical and like to preserve them. You know what I mean? Like I said, in the case of Hi-Fi Rush, right? Just to have ownership. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, huh?
I agree.
That would be the only thing where I feel Microsoft is a little weak. And I know the reason for it is because, most of the market now, a lot of the data shows that most people buy digitally. But I still think there could be a market for the, for us, the old school guys that like the physical games as well. I don't see why they can't. It's like the medium. It's like movie medium. You know what I mean? I love my steel books. Love my physical copies. Like there. I truly feel there's enough space where they can both coexist together.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make more people happy, even on the ones that are not really convinced that Microsoft is serious about their commitments and stuff. I think that would make people more how can I say, what would be the right way? Like it'll alleviate some of the doubts, that Microsoft's not gonna commit because they don't even want to sell their games physical. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's the reason why a lot of people kind of have like that mindset where they think Microsoft is not really going to commit to, is not really committed because they don't really make physical games and things like that. Because they have this notion that Microsoft wants to, they want to just kill gaming. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to kill your rights. They want to take away your rights and all this shit. That's the kind of messaging, right? that it seems to be that most people think and have when they think negative about Xbox, right? So I think if they can work on creating a better, and I'm not saying every game, right? Obviously, but at least a nice amount of games or certain particular games like Hellblade. People are going to want a physical because they had a physical of the first one, right? Where it makes sense. You know what I'm saying, my brother?
Yeah.
I think they should really execute it where it makes sense because a lot of people, you see them been saying, "Oh, I want a physical copy of," or "I would love a physical copy of," Hi-Fi Rush, for example. So I think that's where it makes sense. They should do that, or even something like like the Gunk. The reason why I say the Gunk is because the Gunk is a small game that a lot of people didn't even really pay attention to. Awesome game. It has a beautiful little girl character as the protagonist, and and on top of that, she's African American. She's chubby, so she's representing right. It's got good representation for little girls as well, and I think it has beautiful colors. The world is really nice and vibrant, and I think that would be something that would be attractive as a physical on the store shelves. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it definitely has a quality that stands out because in everything they do, there's a consistency in their art
Right.
and the style. Yeah,
Like we know Forza needs to have a physical because of the licensing issues. Because every time the game gets old and they do a new one, they gotta what you call it what you call it when they do renewals for the
agree.
licensing of the
Yeah,
cars, they gotta renew it. But
yeah,
because they gotta renew it for the new game, they can't renew it for the old game. So they're always gonna have a physical, right? So it's a AAA racer. So that makes sense. And that things like Halo, you're gonna have a physical is gonna sell something like like Gears, obviously. But they also have another issue, and I think they need to really start to execute it because as games get bigger and better, there's no way around it. What they need to do is they need to migrate over from the 50 gig disc to the
hmm
100 gig disc because a lot of games are not being put on full on the disc like the way they did with Halo because the gigs on this is only 50. So they need more gigs. There's not enough space. So in order to fit the whole game, at least the single player part, they should do the 100 gigs and then leave the online portion where you download it on your hard drive and it's on your hard drive because it makes sense. They need to start migrating over. They say, oh, it's a little expensive, but at the end of the day, it's going to be better and more beneficial because they'll be able to do the physical copies without having to worry about doing multiple discs. And if the game is too big and it needs multiple discs, at the very least, they would only need maybe two. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Not more than two. Those are the only issues I think that Microsoft should try to work on. Only because there is a market for physical disc gamers. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I think it's just because they talk about preserving things and
And
preserving.
Phil's always been pushing that.
Yeah.
He's been a very big proponent saying about preservation.
hmm
That's why he was really big on the whole back compat thing. And you saw how that turned to shit because then it became about court fees and then people not really wanting to cooperate because now everybody got the fever of let's remaster everything and sell it for $70. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they always have Microsoft, especially with Phil in charge of Xbox, always has the best of intentions. But
Right.
this is why we do give Phil a hard time, and I know guys in the chat will talk about this too. Because he is a nice guy, right? And sometimes it'd be good if he was more not nice. But yeah, people take advantage of you when you're like that, dude, and that's why I feel sorry for him because he tries to do the right thing. Like going on that kind of funny games to try and do an interview. But the
Well,
man, I
he's
know,
doing it being a professional, obviously, but then he has to deal with the bullshit.
yeah, and that's why
You
I
know what I
disagree
mean?
with a lot of people because people were saying yeah, he's mad about this and that. He goes, no, he's frustrated. You could tell he's frustrated that he's repeating himself.
He's frustrated that he has to deal with people like
Yeah.
that should be more intelligent in their position and should be more professional in their position. Because
Well,
to be honest, look, you could be a PlayStation fan, somebody like Greggy Miller, right?
yeah.
Looking like a fat Cabbage Patch Kid from back in the day, right? So whatever, right? But when you have the head of Xbox, taking the time out to do interviews with your peoples, right?
Hmm.
And yet all you're doing is trying to be funny or trying to throw indirects. That's not very professional. You see what I'm saying? Or you
Well,
see what I'm getting at?
my biggest problem with them was obviously they don't really listen to him or follow him to that extent like they
Right.
should, especially as Xbox people, because the stuff that he talked about, he's talked about ad nauseum in other interviews, right?
Yeah.
Directly, right? So that's what irked me about. This is where I feel like that's why I say when I saw his irritation, it was more for the fact that he's repeating himself, right? Because this stuff that he talks about, like that, like the entertainment, if you're in the entertainment industry, and will always support the guy's visions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been talking about that for a while now, and this
But
is
at
the
the
road.
same time, like when he says, like when he's, I didn't mean to cut you off, my brother.
No, 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 go, go.
At the same time, it's frustration in the
Yeah,
fact that because he knows that they're only talking and saying certain things to clickbait or to create false narratives, not
oh yeah,
because they actually care about the brand or care about gaming as a whole in general. And he knows it, but he can't really point it out. So he knows a lot of things they're doing is to start trolling or to create console wars for their own favoritism. You know what I mean?
I think that's
But
why
he's
he
not
was
he's
so.
not gonna say it.
I think that's why he was so blatantly honest, though, because like a lot of
Right,
people to me took this the wrong way. Like when he said we can't out console Sony and Nintendo, but to me it
well,
wasn't saying that he's giving up. What he's saying
right,
to
right,
me, and nobody picked up on, is that console model is dead.
right. Well, he also was very when he said that. I don't know if you see my video. When he said that,
Hmm.
he also meant that it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That if somebody built a library of games, right, or of their console games, right,
Hmm.
on a PlayStation, let's say, right,
Right.
and all of a sudden, here comes Xbox, got this game called Starfield. That's a AAA, really good quality, gets rated well. That PlayStation fan is not going to be like, you know what? I'm selling my PlayStation and going to get an Xbox the next day, especially if you build up a library with 400 or 500 games. Because that's what he's also implying, which makes perfect sense. That's why he said we lost the worst console generation that we could have lost, which was
Hmm.
the era console generation of the digital era. That's what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Because he said most people got their library digital. They're not going to go and rebuild their library digitally on another brand or another platform just because one game came out that they want. And he's 1,000% right.
He's 1,000% right, but he's also saying in that is that that's not that's not who he's targeting. That's
Right,
the kind of
right.
thing that he said. He's not targeting these guys, and the thing is like the out console thing plays into this. He's actually targeting everybody else that's on that side.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
don't,
That's what he was saying. They're all that their plan is also to target those that maybe perhaps can't get consoles in their countries, right?
oh, I mean like the PlayStation guys. So he's targeting the PlayStation guys because the majority of the PlayStation fan base, the quote unquote fan base,
Hmm.
is not the people he's talking about are in that sense is the ponies, but everybody else who's just on there for Fortnite and COD, this is why they're gonna get caught, right? Because those people don't have a connection on that
Right.
level of PlayStation.
The minute that it's on Xbox, guess what?
Yeah,
That'll be where they're playing it.
yeah, and then
Or
you
the minute
supplement.
that they have more accessibility on Xbox,
Yeah,
that's where they'll play it. Well, they came from the 360.
yes,
They migrated to PlayStation from 360 because they were getting the DLCs first, because they were getting all the fucking exclusive content first.
and the Xbox was known as the shooter box. People
Right.
would make fun of us because of that. I remember having a 360. it didn't bother me because I was in hardcore Xbox. I was still Sega, but I remember people saying, "Oh, all you guys have is shooters. You're the shooter box. You know, you guys don't." And then at the time, I played a lot of platformers, so that's why I had a PlayStation. Like I played Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, right? I played those games, right? And
Yeah.
so, but back then, of course, being multi-console and stuff like that. But you know, this is what Xbox is known for. So I'm like, okay, you guys talked all that trash back then. Now it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass now, right? Because once it goes over, once it comes back over, dude, that's why when I listen to Phil Spencer, I'm kind of like they understand, like he said, right? He said it's not that. Okay, hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh no, it's me. I think. Oh, I thought my thing died. It just shut off. Okay, sorry, brother.
No,
But look at
no.
what look at what Issa said. I started this generation digital only with a Series S, but when I upgraded to Series X, I started collecting physicals of the Xbox 360 and Xbox One Series. Hopefully, however, Rush Ghostwire Tokyo get them, like you were saying, right? But this is the other aspect of that, right, where people are getting into the physical, like you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, brother. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no. I will continue to say it over and over again. There is enough space for both sides of the fence of those type of players. You know, there's the physical market, there's the digital market, and there's the market that's in between that does both, like me.
Yes.
You know, it just look, Phil, he said it. Our goal is to reach as many players as possible. You're
Yes.
not going to reach as many players as possible. You're not going to reach that goal if the only thing you're thinking about is, oh, um let's just worry about how much consoles we're gonna sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
that's what
get
he
what I'm
said.
saying, brother?
Yeah, 100%.
That's what he means by that. He's saying we're not just gonna reach all these people that we want to reach if we just concentrate on, if we just concentrate on, oh no, just get people that want to buy consoles. Because with cloud gaming and with things like with cloud gaming, things like Game Pass, you can reach people that even like playing, you know, like we talked about before, that like to play on their, tablets, on their phones,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
with the Activision acquisition, now they have the mobile market with whatever Activision does, with like the Candy Crushes and things like that, you know. So that's what he means by that when he's saying our goal is not the same way he said, you caught when he said I don't believe in the model of to create the one game that rules them all. You caught when he said that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what basically he was trying to talk about how PlayStation guys always talking about how, oh, you need the single player action adventure story driven narrative game. That's what he's talking about. That's not the only genre, and they don't believe in just having that one genre.
Yeah.
Do they want games more like that? I'm pretty sure they will welcome them, but that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, gaming is about all genres and all types of games and all type of creativity. That's what he means by that. And half of these dudes don't get it. They're like,
Oh,
"What do you mean? Oh, he gave up. He don't even believe in single
yeah.
player games."
Yeah.
No, that's not what he's
That was the
saying.
negative around. Yep.
You've seen all these people skewing his words. Oh, look, he don't even believe in Xbox. He said, we're done. We don't have faith that our console's going to sell anymore. No, that's not what he was talking about either. You got to read in between the lines of what he's saying, because that's why they've been having so much success
Hmm.
economically, specifically, or yeah, specifically economically. Because they're making a lot of money because they have a lot more. They're having a lot more success by offering other things that the competitors are not. Like Game Pass, like cloud gaming. And that's what people don't understand. It's not that he gave up. Their vision is to reach much more people by different venues, whether it's via cloud, whether it's through Game Pass, through a different device. As long as you're on their ecosystem, that's all they want, you know. And that's all.
Like you said, the only thing that Sony actually has is the narrative.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the best thing they're good at, right? Those type of games, right? But look, Spider-Man today, right? When you're watching it, it almost felt like, how can I say? It almost felt like fatigue. Like you're getting fatigued already about those style of games. Like, okay, here we go again. Same thing over again. Same thing, different day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no,
that's almost how it felt like when you're watching it. And that, I think that was a general consensus. I don't think it was just somebody like me. I think a lot of people felt that way. Like Spider-Man looked cool, but it's the same thing. They're not doing nothing new again. That's the same thing Beanox did with the one where you can turn into the different Spider-Mans in the different dimensions.
Yeah,
remember?
I watched my son play that. It's pretty good.
The only difference is in this game, it looks like the suit mutates into where you can be a symbiote and have the symbiote abilities on top of being this regular suit with Spider-Man. You know, that's the only difference. That is the suit that changes or shifts. And instead of making it co-op, you saw what they did. It changes on the fly, kind of like GTA.
That was funny, man. These people were melting down with that too. Well, it's gonna be cool. It wasn't.
Oh, they shot that shit down. Dreamcast guy, the fucking retard. That shit was funny as hell. Oh, that dude. He did a video about Xbox guys not buying games. I need to tag him and show him all my games. Like, yo, let me see your library, bud.
No, you know what with him, dude? The thing that got me about it is like I would question is like, do you even play the Spider-Man game? Because if you watch that video that they showed, there's no way you can do co-op.
Right.
Co-op with that kind of gameplay. How would
you can't? Yeah, especially if you're trying to do the open world thing.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible.
Yeah, that just tells me you probably didn't play Spider-Man. You just sit on your fucking trash.
Because Spider-Man is very traversal, where you gotta swing and jump and do a lot, and you can't really do that in co-op mode.
No, because the timing, and they're already setting you up right with all the stuff. Some of it is actually pretty cool. Like the way they did the spider sense was pretty cool, but like the timing would be off. You couldn't do that with another person.
No. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
That's why I always say these guys don't play. Let me read Radiance's real quick, and then I want to answer it, and then I'll let you answer as well.
Sure thing.
I'll read all his comments at one time. Xbox will first-party games this year alongside plenty of editions, yet stupid PS fan base will say that PS is better and Xbox sucks. You see what we're dealing with. And then he says, about all the games Xbox has given to its players, it's still not good enough. Xbox has to do better, and etc. Meanwhile, Nintendo barely releases games, and the gaming community has. And then he said, Xbox, even after winning Metacritic's Publisher of the Year in 2021,
last year, which everybody, by the way, already everybody acting like they have amnesia and forgot that they won Metacritic Gaming of the Year, even though we don't give a fuck about Metacritic. But everybody acted like, oh my God, all the Xbox games score badly because of the Redfall thing. I'm like, what? They just won the Publisher of the Year last year with Metacritic. What are you talking about?
It's like they love it when it works in their favor, but when it doesn't, boy, they just ignore that thing. But Radiance, I would say this about your comments. Like, this is just my perspective. If anything, man, this showcase tonight just put all of that to rest. This showcase tonight, dude. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, Radiance, watch it. I agree 100% with Heba. This was like a great Xbox showcase. But if you watch tonight's showcase, basically all the stuff that Sony's been talking have basically been blown up. And a lot of these guys that are ponies that have been talking trash, it all blew up in their face. So that's why, for me, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? And it's always been that way for me as an Xbox guy, but more so if you're a person, if you're one of these guys thinking I'm going to sell my Xbox, that is not the case. So.
Well, this showcase really hurt them because It put them in the same position that they've been saying that Sony would never be in, because they're not like Xbox, because they embrace single player narrative games. They know what quality is. They know that AAA is important, and that the only thing that matters is AAA. And they pretty much feel stupid today because the showcase it was nothing like that. It was the complete opposite, which is why I enjoyed it.
Did you hear what I said earlier? But I actually got a piece of cake. Sat down and I was eating my cake and I was like watching this. I was like, yeah, dude, it is my off day, so so I'll just eat my cake and enjoy the show. Because it did catch me off guard. I watched it because of what Unlimited was saying, and I watched it because I was going to talk about it. Because normally, I don't touch this kind of stuff. But as I watched the show, dude, I was like sitting there going, "Oh, I can see why these people are pissed. I can see why these ponies are super mad."
Right.
But yeah, brother. You know what? I got to roll though. I didn't realize it was 10:30.
All right, no problem, bro. It was good to come in here. But if you wanna, like I said, if you wanna do something else later in the week, let me know. Like I said, hit me up, because we still never did the He-Man one too. I told you.
I was gonna check with Sega Man, because actually, what I wanted to do a Saturday morning podcast like back in the day, like because what I do on Saturday mornings, that I'll get up and either I'll watch old cartoons or me and my kids. I told you we watch your videos on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let me give you a quick example real quick. Because it's something that you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
How these dudes don't know what games are, right?
Yeah.
Like, I put a video up of a new beat 'em up, right? It's called Skinny and something. I forgot the whole title, but in the comment section, all you see is ponies talking about, I need Jenny Craig, or something wrong with my hairline. And I'm like, you see, they don't come here for games.
Right.
They just come to, like, for the insult. They think it's funny. Oh, look.
Because they're hateful pieces of trash. That's right.
They don't think a game like Bramble is a game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's not a AAA.
Like Bramble, I heard about, because there's one girl I follow on Twitter. I forget her. She's from Ireland, I believe, or Scotland. But I started following. She started posting stuff because she did nerd stuff, which I thought was cool. She showed like one of her Lego. I think it was the Line. It was really cool. And so she has creds and stuff like that. But she was talking about it, and she was actually showing stuff on it. So I was like, oh, okay, that looks like a cool game.
Oh yeah, Ravenlock too, dude. You got to try it.
Yeah,
it's awesome, dude. It's so awesome.
I'm trying to finish up Redfall, so that I could be done. I want to finish it with my main character, and then go so I can go play other games. That's what I'm trying to, because I'm on the second map already. I could end it if I wanted to, but I'm trying to build up Layla's tech tree.
Look, I haven't seen people play Wanted. I haven't seen people play Solstice. You know what I mean? I haven't seen people play Evil West, another fantastic game. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've fallen off. I gotta get. I'm just
like, these dudes, like you were saying earlier, talking about there's no games. Dude, there's too many fucking games.
Too many. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Again, this is why I say that these guys aren't gamers. Because a gamer, even if Redfall's bad and you didn't like it, a gamer will, like, maybe if they want
even if Redfall wasn't your cup of tea, there's still plenty of games to pick from.
Yes, as a gamer, you'd move to something else because there's a ton of stuff to play. But that's why these guys are not gamers, man. And people are coming after me about that. I'm like, no, I stick by it 100%, dude. Because guys like me, guys like you, we help build this industry, and we live the culture, man. We just don't. It was about games.
When we were back in the day, we played a game, we liked it, cool. We didn't like it, okay, next.
But for us, it's like, even though if the game wasn't like you said, it wasn't our cup of tea, there's sometimes we play the game because we find something we like about it, or you just want to see it through to the end.
Or go back to it, at least try it out again.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
give it a second chance to see. Yeah, no.
You saw these guys. Some guys were like 4 minutes. I played it 4 minutes and I was done. I'm like, dude,
there's fucking people that they'll be like, oh no, IGN said it sucks, and that's it. They won't try it. Yeah. I'm like, what? Are you fucking retarded? And you call yourself a gamer? Bro, gamers don't judge games by what somebody else says. We always try it out ourselves. Always. No matter what. We always try it out.
Yeah.
You know, if we like it, we like it. We don't. Even if, and sometimes even games that we didn't like, we would at some point go back and try out again to see if maybe we'll like it. And maybe it was just we were in the mood and we didn't know how to play it or something. That's how we were.
Yeah.
But, you know, these dudes, oh, hell no. They're like, oh, no, I don't like this.
You'll never know the joy of dumpster diving. In fact, you don't even have to do that anymore. But like you would take that chance because out of the 20 games, obviously out of the 10 games that you found that were like, okay, they were bad games, dude, you find that one game, right? And this is how you build. This is how you have those experiences, man. It's almost like people don't want to have experiences in gaming anymore. I'm like, dude, this is what gaming is all about, dude. You get that one game, just like, and it doesn't have to be. And look, Halo's a good example just because it's one of the biggest ones. A lot of people didn't expect a lot of stuff from Halo when it first came out, but when it hit and it hit hard and it hit big, dude, people still like. I think Unlimited was saying that in this podcast. People still talk about that to this day. Like they can remember the time and date they were standing in that line, right?
Yeah, when they played Halo for the first time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
if you want to have that type of experiences, you have to put yourself out there. And these guys
Yeah.
just don't do it, man. I mean, which is
And
weird to me.
you gotta take the risk of trying the other stuff.
Yes. Which is what PlayStation did tonight in their showcase. So congratulations to them. I have to keep on throwing that in there, dude. I was, like you said, brother, I was just like cracking up watching this thing because you can see it as the show moved on. Because on Twitter, dude, the thing was started off like positive, and you see it drop ever so gently, dropping, and then all the Xbox guys, ours was just going up. But after I watched it for myself, I was like, okay, I can see again why these guys hated it. So because they're ponies. But yeah, Hibot, are you still there? Hello, do I still have you? Hibot, hello. I might have lost him. I think my thing just guys. I'm not sure if I'm still live. If you're still there. Oh yeah, I did lose Hibot. Sorry. Sometimes it's the connection. Like Hebot's all the way on the East Coast. I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So the fact that we can even do this. But I'll take that as a sign, guys. Hebot, thank you for joining me, man. We'll do that podcast this weekend because you gotta, dude. I mean, just go ham on it, bro. Go nuclear. Do your thing because you deserve it. This was just a quick stuff I wanted to do because I wanted to talk about the showcase, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. For all the guys that joined me, Radiance, Issa, Wilkin, other Zinc was in here earlier. Who else? Shane G. Hey, Shane, man. Well, I'll see you on Twitter. Maybe I'll see you on Twitter in a couple of minutes before I go to bed. I'll hit up Twitter. Yeah, I said Radiance, man. Again, thank you for being here. Suck my tongue. Oh, yeah, dude. Thanks for coming in. You're like really quickly, dude. Yeah, the fighting games are absolutely ridiculous this year. Not only are we getting a lot of them, but a lot of them look high quality. I'm actually trying to get a fighting stick. I bought one, but it's not what I wanted. And the problem I'm having is the one I wanted to get that everybody has. They won't ship it to where I'm at. So, I guess I might have to just make do with the one I have, or just do the controller, which sucks. But Lewis was in here. Thank you, Lewis, for being in here, brother. Elvis Pusley. This is the first time I think I might have saw you, Elvis, man. But thank you for coming in. Of course, cheers to Anthony Chipmunk, man. Always a pleasure to have him in there. And I think I caught everybody. Oh, and Box. Sorry, Box. Yeah, Box. Thanks for stopping in, man. And thanks for the tip, dude. I'm gonna do that. Like I said, when I beat the game with Layla, then I go back and play with Jacob. I'll go look it up. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I think I caught everyone. But yeah, dude, it was a great time. It's a great time to be an Xbox guy. Again, if you did not see the PlayStation Showcase 2023, I definitely recommend you watch it just to enjoy the other the narrative just being totally destroyed and Xbox being vindicated, not just for now, but from 2013. It was a sight to behold. It was wonderful. But yeah, guys, just enjoy yourself, enjoy Twitter, enjoy your games, man. Play Game Pass. There's a lot of stuff out there. I know that I'm instead of doing podcasts and watching the PlayStation, I could have been playing my Game Pass. But we have a 4-day weekend coming up, man. And if you haven't checked out the sales on Xbox, there's a lot of good sales. In fact, I think it was Weird West that Hebot talked about. Is actually, I think it's 50% off. I think it's like $20, so I might actually pick that up. I might cop that now, just because I wanted to play it ever since I saw it. I thought it was coming to Game Pass, but I was wrong. But yeah, for all of you guys saying that 90% of that, like Radiance was saying, 90% of that the showcase is probably going to be Xbox. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it'll be Game Pass. I definitely hope so. And then to Issa, was that you that said that? Did I wanna? One of you guys said that. Imagine if they announce Grand Theft Auto coming to Game Pass or even being Xbox exclusive. That'd be funny too. But anyway, guys, let me. It's late. I want to get out of here again. Thank you guys for joining me. Xbox All In channel, host take it forever. We out.